Avila is somebody who is such a fascinating story. He has been huge for Coach Schertz in multiple programs. What makes him unique and a difficult scout?
He's able to do things on the court with his size that most guys aren't. His passing, his shooting, he creates so much gravity where you have to pay attention to him at all times. And then those other guys get loose. So because he's such a good passer, we talk about it with Adai a lot. You create reactions, overreactions, and I think he does that well. And they do a lot of things to get the ball to him in good spots where he's able to take advantage of it.
It's fascinating. They've got, similar to what Michigan had for a while before the LJ injury, 9 guys in the rotation, all averaging between 5 and 13 points a game. Avila is the star, and he's also such a unique story with his look, his playing style, all of that. Who else individually is at the top of this scouting report?
I think Deion Brown. I think his energy. He's a senior leader. He plays hard. He's the best defender. And I think he's the heart and soul of their team. Just the way he brings his energy every single game. But they're very, very similar to us. It's hard to scout them because every night is somebody else that's playing well for them. And we just have to be on a high alert on who's shooters, who's cutters, and being able to take care of personnel.
Coach, appreciate it. Good luck.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
As Drew Williamson will come back and continue our pregame coverage as we get you ready for Michigan and the Billikens of St. Louis for a spot in the Sweet 16. This is Michigan basketball from Learfield.
Not many things come with a lifetime guarantee. Cars? Nope. Computers?
Goodbye.
Not even cuckoo clocks. Now there's a new Michigan lottery game that offers a lifetime of cash.
Hi, $1 Millionaire for Life ticket, please.
It's Millionaire for Life. Drawings are 7 days a week with a top prize of $1 million a year for as long as you live.
Guaranteed.
And there's a second prize of $100,000 a year for life. Play Michigan Lottery's new Millionaire for Life. One win
lasts a lifetime.
Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Michigan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Michigan Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
More from the NCAA tournament comes your way in 1 minute.
Inside Johnson, one dribble, leans in on Cooper, banks, scores, counted a foul!
On the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs. It's probably the best thing you can do for a teenager.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, know it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Michigan getting ready for St. Louis here at the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament. Adai Mara joins me. What did you guys learn from the first game on Thursday? What went well, and what do you guys need to clean up?
I think we learned that we have to rely on defense. In our defense, we have to do a good job on defense because sometimes maybe our offense is not gonna be there. So we gotta make sure that we come to the game ready and prepared to play against everyone.
To St. Louis, what makes this team unique? How challenging are they to deal with?
Well, I think they have a lot of talent. like 1 through 5. Like they can shoot 1 through 5 too. They know how to play with each other. They're super efficient, like team in offense and in defense too. So like. They're gonna be like a hard team to beat, but I think it's gonna be on us. So I think if we prepare and if we get to the game ready, we're gonna be fine. So.
Avila, their big man, he's obviously a unique scout. What makes him such a good player?
I think his ability to do like everything on the court. He can shoot, he can pass, he can play like around the rim. I think those things make him a very unique player, and it makes him really like tough player to defend. So I think we gotta get ready for that too. So, but yeah, he's a good player. Like if you see his highlights or his film, you can see how talented is him. So yeah.
Lastly, the NCAA tournament, it obviously is high leverage. It's emotional, but are you able to still enjoy it, have fun being around your teammates, even though you guys are playing for your season every time you're out there?
You mean with these games? Yeah, we always trying to have fun. Like we know like we're not gonna prepare these games today or tomorrow. You know, we prepare these games during the preseason and during the first part of the season. So like now I think our mentality is to have fun and just to do what we know that we are capable of. So
gracias, mi amigo.
Thank you.
There's a Mara. We'll come back with much more of the pregame show. Michigan and St. Louis. Rob Joyce is checking the out-of-town scoreboard, previewing the round of 32 next. This is Michigan basketball from Learfield.
Shoot, score, and win a share of $106,000 in cash and premium play at Saganing Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Fridays and Saturdays in March from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m., 2 guests are drawn each hour to compete in a head-to-head shootout. Then at 11 p.m., 1 lucky guest will receive $4,500 in cash and prizes. Only at Saganing Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saganing-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
We are Laurentide Winery, founded by Michigan alums Susan and Will Bramer, and proud to bring you amazing wines made in Leelanau from 100% Michigan-grown grapes. This season, our award-winning wines debut at Chrysler and Yost Arenas. Laurentide is grateful to be part of your celebrations, dinners, and game day traditions, as each purchase helps support our Engineering Scholarship Fund. Visit our tasting room or explore our wines at shop.laurentidewinery.com. Thank you, and go blue.
We'll return to Buffalo for more tournament action in 60 seconds.
Set at the rim by Mara, blocked it away. Up ahead, Lendeboard to Gale, goes in and jams it down.
This is Wolverine basketball from Learfield.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
Care for a Truck Month trivia contest, Sam?
Oh, you know I can't resist, Hank.
Okay, fact. Truck Month happens only once a year.
Fact. It's the best time to buy a new Ford truck.
Fact. Ford F-Series is the best-selling lineup of trucks in America for 49 years.
Fact. America loves Ford Truck Month.
Fact. I agree with that fact.
Based on 1977 to 2025 CY Industry reported total sales.
Easy Plan customers who trade in their current vehicle can lease a 2025 F-150 Hybrid Super Crew for $339 a month for 36 months with $2,329 cash due at signing. Payment includes waived security deposit, excludes title, taxes, and license fees. Not all buyers will qualify for low-mileage Ford Credit Red Carpet Lease. Cash due at signing is after $4,500 in incentives. Offer only valid on Package 200A. Take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by March 31st. Lease a 2025 F-150 Hybrid for only $339 a month. Think Ford first.
We continue our pregame coverage by visiting with Chuck Buckingham, Chief Marketing Officer with our friends at Founders Brewing Company. Chuck, appreciate you stopping by during an exciting time for Wolverines athletics, basketball and hockey thriving among the nation's best. What's your prediction for the Maize and Blue?
Yeah, go blue. Let's start with that. It's been really exciting to watch these teams all season. I believe the sky's the limit for both of these teams. We have some amazing diehard fans at Founders, both employees and customers, and our tap room has been packed for games all season long. We're looking forward to some deep postseason runs for both of these programs.
Now, Founders has been the official craft beer sponsor of University of Michigan Athletics for nearly 2 years now. What has this partnership meant to you and your brewery?
Yeah, what a true honor. Founders and the University of Michigan, two amazing brands in the state coming together. It doesn't get much better than that. And what a winning team to get together with. Wolverines, over 50 national champions across 12 sports. We are so excited to be part of this.
Lastly, March Madness is upon us, which means spring is in the air, summer just around the corner. Is Founders preparing anything new, exciting to help Michiganders celebrate this great time of year?
Boy, do we have a lot of stuff here. First off, our flagship brand, All Day IPA, is celebrating its 15th year, which is really exciting. So we'll have commemorative cans this summer. We'll have a lot of parties and a lot of celebrating. Secondly, Mortal Bloom, our hazy IPA, continues to grow, and we highly encourage you to give it a try. If you haven't had it on draft, I encourage you to buy a pint. But then when you look at new products, we've got a lot of excitement here. From a better for you perspective, we have a new non-alc option called Founders Nonetheless. We also have a new IPA called Low Profile. This is all the taste of an IPA, yet comes in at 3% ABV and only 85 calories. Just perfect for when your team goes into overtime. And then we also have a new golden ale that's got great flavor, but unbelievably easy drinking. And the name, we want to keep it easy as well. Easy drinking beer. And then lastly, really stepping out of our swim lanes and just in time for golf season, our first ever spirit-based canned cocktail called Water Hazard. Yep, it's our take on the popular golf-centric cocktail. It's blue, it's delicious, it's refreshing. Honestly, you've got to try it whether you're a legit golfer or a worm burner hack just like me. This one's amazing.
I spend some time with the Water Hazard, so looking forward to trying that one. You can learn more about Founders and all of their Michigan-made high-quality craft beverages at foundersbrewing.com. Chuck Buckingham, appreciate you stopping by and enjoy all the action this spring.
Thanks, Brian. Have a good one.
Our thanks to Founders Brewing Company. We're getting you set for Michigan and St. Louis from the second round of the NCAA tournament. We'll set the day. We're game 1 of 8 today in the round of 32, so our ticket will be the first to be punched to the Sweet 16 between the Wolverines and the Billikens. This is Michigan basketball from Learfield.
Champions Circle is the leading Michigan athletics fan engagement community. We connect fans with once-in-a-lifetime experiences, produce public and private events, offer club memberships, and operate an online retail store, selling exclusive apparel, trading cards, autographs, and other memorabilia featuring Michigan student athletes. To become a member or learn more about how you can support your favorite Michigan student athletes, visit championscircleufm.com. Champions Circle is a proud sponsor of University of Michigan Athletics.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong. You are fearless. You are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
You're 60 seconds away from more Michigan basketball. But first, a local break here on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
As Michigan hockey makes its postseason push, you can plan next season's visits to Yost Ice Arena for all of the excitement. Join the ticket interest list to receive notifications about season ticket opportunities, single game ticket offers, and promotion information. Plus, you can subscribe to This Week in Michigan Hockey, a thorough weekly newsletter with the latest on Wolverines hockey. Visit mgoblue.com/hockey tickets for more information. That's mgoblue.com/hockey tickets.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids facing unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness and disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Join us in the movement to get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org to learn more. Team Impact. All in, all together.
Going on for the duration of the contest. The next game to tip is the one to follow ours in Buffalo in the East Region. The 3-seed Michigan State taking on the 6-seed Louisville. A Spartan victory. It would be their third Sweet 16 in the last 4 years. Cardinals have not advanced past the opening weekend since 2015. Nothing else gets underway until this evening. Staying in the East Region at 5:15, top-seeded Duke battles the 9-seed TCU in Greenville, South Carolina. Blue Devils overcame that double-digit halftime deficit to hold off Siena on Thursday. Frogs beat Ohio State with a late bucket, now in search of their first Sweet 16 appearance since 1968. South region underway at 6:10 in Oklahoma City. The 2-seed Houston meets 10th seeded Texas A&M. The Aggies in search of their first trip beyond the first weekend since 2018, going up against the defending national runners-up in Houston. The winner of that game moves to the Sweet 16, which will be in Houston, by the way, to face either Illinois or VCU. The Illini and Rams clash at 7:50 in Greenville. Illinois cruised past Penn in Thursday's first round, winning by 35. VCU, meanwhile, overcame a 19-point second-half deficit to stun North Carolina in overtime. Rams head coach Phil Martelli Jr. knows falling behind like that will not fly tonight against the Illini.
We have to be us. Being us is being disruptive, is rebounding the ball, getting out and playing in transition and flowing and doing what we do and doing it at the level that we need to do it. They didn't see us for long stretches last night, missing layups and tentative and kind of a step behind. That wasn't us. And then somewhere in that second half, 12, 13 minutes, we started to find us. We're going to need that tomorrow. We're going to have to be us from the get-go. And that, that's us being fearless. It's us attacking. It's us, going after people right from the get-go, regardless of what their jersey says.
And then one last South Region game comes at 8:45 in Oklahoma City. Fresh off its first NCAA tournament win in program history, Nebraska takes on Vanderbilt in a 4-5 seed showdown. Obviously, Huskers had never been to the Sweet 16. Vandy has not been there since 2007 and has gone just twice in the last 30 years. And then there's the West Region out in Portland. Gets underway at 7:10. The 3rd seed Gonzaga taking on the 11 seed Texas. Bulldogs trying to get back to the Sweet 16 after missing out last year for the first time since 2014 after a second-round exit a season ago. Top half of the West bracket. Final game tonight around 9:45. It'll feature the 4th seed in that region, Arkansas, against the lowest remaining seed in the field, the 12 seed High Point, who upset Wisconsin in the dying stages on Thursday. Quirk of the scheduling, our game, the only one in the Midwest region today. The other 3 games all come tomorrow, meaning the winner of today's game will get an extra 24 hours of rest prior to the regional semi in Chicago next week. The winner of our game will get either Alabama or Texas Tech next weekend. Tide overcame a slow start to beat Hofstra. Red Raiders pulled away late from Akron. Bottom half of the bracket, Iowa State will meet Kentucky tomorrow afternoon after the Wildcats' wild overtime win against Santa Clara. Cyclones could be without second leading scorer and leading rebounder Joshua Jefferson. He left yesterday's game with an ankle injury. X-rays are negative. They think it's a sprain. Winner of that game will get either the 3 seed Virginia, who held off a pesky Wright State bunch yesterday, or Tennessee, who had no issues in round 1, cruising past Miami, Ohio. It's Michigan and St. Louis here today. We'll take a timeout when we come back. Get the pregame thoughts of head coach Dusty May. It's next. This is Michigan basketball from Learfield.
When prenatal surgery is your baby's best chance. When your sight is set on gene therapy for retinal disease. When a new airway is what you need to keep breathing. Only Michigan answers. With specialized treatment options that aren't available anywhere else in Michigan, we provide the nationally recognized care you need without having to travel out of state. Learn how University of Michigan Health answers the call at michigananswers.org.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com for Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Brian and Terry are back in 1 minute. This is Michigan basketball from Learfield.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We're closing in on tip-off, so let's head into the Michigan locker room for a pregame conversation with head coach Dusty May, presented by Meijer, the presenting sponsor of the Wolverines postseason journey and hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. Now, with Coach May, here's Brian Bush.
Coach, can you take us back to when you first met Josh Schertz, when you first started to interact with him? It seems like you guys have gotten close and have a lot of similarities with how you handle coaching the game of basketball.
You know, before the transfer portal was there was the graduate transfers, and he had a player leave in Lincoln Memorial, and he was his leading scorer, and they'd had probably his first down year in a long time. And we started recruiting the player, and so the first thing we did while trying to evaluate him was they had exhibition games against Butler and I believe Tennessee, so it was getting the high major teams that they had played against and evaluate this player. And as I was watching the film, I thought, wow, this guy's a good coach. Like, they run good stuff, they've got good intent, like everything about the way they played, I thought they just looked like a well-coached group. So after we eventually signed that player, and then he would come to town, he's originally from Boca, he would stop and watch practice, and so we talked ball for hours, and then in the off seasons we'd get together and just do little impromptu coaches conventions, and we go on the road recruiting, and both of our staffs were pissed because we were angry because we weren't evaluating as much as we were talking ball and strategy. So just somebody that I have a lot of respect for, that I've been able to learn a lot from.
We talked earlier in the week about the similarities. If you look at the Ken Pom page, you watch St. Louis play and watch Michigan play. What about their style most impresses you as you've watched? I know you've watched a lot of their games this year.
I think their role definition's as good as any that I've seen this year in college basketball. Their guys do what they do well. The shooters get to their space, the cutters get to the rim, and obviously Avila connects a lot of it just because of his unique skill set. But they're fun to watch. They're extremely efficient. Unlike his Indiana State teams, they're feisty defensively. They're tough. He's got some toughness. They're into the ball. They do a great job of guarding one-on-one, and that's probably where they've made the biggest jump on the defensive end.
They spread out with a bunch of shooters. How challenging is a group that has so many threats around the perimeter when you have a guy who distributes like Robbie Avila?
Yeah, they have the ability to make really difficult shots. So I think anytime a shooter makes a couple difficult ones, then that opens up the lane and the basket, and then the paint touch kickouts for the other guy. So you got to do a good job of forcing tough shots against teams that can score like they do, and not overreacting if they do make one that you did a nice job on.
Lastly, how do they make up for a relative lack of size compared to some other teams? You guys have the size advantage, certainly, but how do they make it so that they can still have the similar type of success you guys have offensively and defensively?
Well, their league's doesn't have quite the size that ours does. Spacing, athleticism in their league is probably a little more prevalent than sheer mass. But what they do a good job of challenging passes, of not letting you go to where you want to get to. And then if you get near the paint, they collapse, and then they rotate well out of it. And Avila, despite not being an elite shot blocker, he does a good job with his verticalities and just forcing difficult finishes around the rim.
Coach, appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Here's Dusty May. We'll get ready for Michigan and St. Louis when we come back here. Terry's keys to victory, the starting lineups, and the opening jump next. This is Michigan basketball from Learfield.
When you have a gambling problem, you have a money problem.
10 gallons of gas, cash or credit?
Yesterday's lottery ticket won't fill up your tank. Because when you're feeding a gambling problem...
Okay, your grocery total is $98.
It's difficult putting food on the table, paying your bills, and keeping your life together. If you or a loved one is struggling with gambling, get free confidential help at michigan.gov/problemgambling. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Johnson for governor, because we must implement the mega audit to eliminate the waste and return the money to the taxpayers.
Score more with the college-branded Venmo debit card. Rep your team with every tap and earn up to 5% cash back through Venmo Stash, a new rewards program where the more you do, the more you get. Get your Venmo debit card today and start earning rewards with Venmo Stash. No monthly fee, no minimum balance. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A. Select schools available. Venmo Stash bundle terms and exclusions apply at venmo.me/stash terms. Max $100 cash back per month.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, Visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
If you haven't listened to the Defend the Block podcast, here's what you've been missing.
What do you think was the difference down the stretch?
I thought we drew up a bank shot.
Sure. Great coaching.
18-footer with a point.
With a 7'3" player.
A 7'3" player on the shot clock. Jokes aside, our guys, they just stayed together.
Defend the Block, covering Michigan basketball all year long on MGO Blue Podcasts. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
A spot in the Sweet 16 up for grabs. Top-seeded Michigan, 9th-seeded St. Louis in this Midwest region second-round clash to begin the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament. Terry's keys after we pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Michigan basketball from Learfield. Back here in Buffalo, Terry, Mike Boynton Jr. said that this team will feel like they're playing a smaller version of themselves. How does Michigan soar above St. Louis, literally and figuratively? What are your keys to victory?
Well, number one, they've got to defend that three-point line. Don't let it come to no surprise that they lead the nation. They're second in the nation in three-point shooting. So Michigan's going to have to get up on them, close out on shooters, be there on the catch. They make 11 threes a ball game, and they got guys that's going to hunt threes. Number two is transition defense. They like to get out in transition and then be able to create those threes. So Michigan, they've been battle tested against teams like Michigan State that love to get out in transition, so they're more than prepared to get out there and stop that. And last but not least is rebounding. On the offensive end, I think Michigan can do some damage with their size, getting some putbacks and getting some 50-50 balls on that end, and then dominate in that painted area. Michigan's got a size advantage. Let's take advantage of it.
St. Louis, despite their lack of size, is 13th nationally in rebounding margin, plus 7.6 a game. Michigan 8th and almost 9 rebounds better per contest. Those are Terry's keys to victory for this fascinating second-round clash in Buffalo. Top-seeded Michigan, number 9 seed St. Louis. Two teams who recorded more than 100 points in Thursday's round of 64 wins. With the way these two teams play, it may be a race to 100 or thereabouts this afternoon. Time for the starting lineups for the Billikens of St. Louis University. 29-5 overall, regular season champs in the Atlantic 10 Conference. The closest thing to a point guard for St. Louis is Quentin Jones. He averages 3 assists per game, but has struggled offensively in March. Just 4 points a game on 28% shooting. Also in the backcourt, Deion Brown, who assistant Drew Williamson told us is the heart and soul of the Billikens. And Trey Green, he's 5th nationally at 45% from 3. He has a team-high 91 triples. Amari McCottry is a third-teamer in the A-10. He's a 6'6" wing who shoots twice as efficiently from 2, 58%, than 3, 29%. The star is the man with many nicknames, Robbie Avila, the A-10's player of the year. He stands 6'10", weighs 240 pounds, rocks some pretty cool goggles, and his look belies his basketball skill. He averages 13 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4 assists per contest. Some of those nicknames include Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Nerd, Steph Blurry, and Milk Chamberlain. The last of those is the favorite for one of the top young head coaches in the sports. It's Josh Schertz in his second season at SLU. The Billikens 48-20 under Schertz, who took over after a 13-20 campaign where the Billikens finished 5-13 in the A-10, finishing second to last out of 15 teams. He's assisted by Zach Bover, Antone Gray, Phil Gaetano, and Rob Gardner. For the 32-3 Michigan Wolverines, who surged past the Howard Bison to arrive in the round of 32, Elliot Cadeau, 2 assists shy of the 7th 200-assist season in Michigan history. He starts at the point guard spot. Namari Burnett at the other guard. He readies for his 105th straight start for the Wolverines. A win today, and he would clinch a 106th back in his hometown of Chicago on Friday night. The Big Three anchors the front court for the Maize and Blue. Yaxel Lendeborg, a semifinalist for the Naismith Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, starts at the 3 guard. He averages a team-high 14.4 points a game, but his front court mates were the Wolverines' top 2 offensive threats on Thursday here in Buffalo. Morez Johnson Jr., Michigan's 4-man, posted his 8th double-double of the season, 21 points and 10 rebounds. And 7'3" center Adai Mara added 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, one shy of a career high in just 21 minutes of action. The head coach is Dusty May, who has developed a close friendship with his counterpart, Josh Schertz. Michigan 59-13 under May's leadership, and he can reach his third Sweet 16 in the last 4 seasons with a victory today. Dusty May's assistants, the two on the scout today, Mike Boynton Jr. and Drew Williamson, along with Kyle Church, Akeem Miskadeen, and a man trying to postpone his move out to Corvallis, Oregon to take over Oregon State's program, Justin Joyner. Our officials here for the first game of the round of 32 of the 2026 NCAA tournament, Jeffrey Anderson, who has done several Michigan games this year, and 2 who have not. They haven't done any Michigan games. Lee Cassell and Steven Anderson, no relation to Jeffrey. Michigan in the home whites, tops and bottoms. The blue and whites for St. Louis. They've got blue jersey tops and bottoms trimmed in white. Fascinating matchup. Mirror images, but the mirror is a little bit higher, taller, and stronger on the Michigan side. We'll see if that can be the difference to get Michigan back to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, well, Michigan's got to come out and flex their muscles. I mean, play with physicality without fouling.
Michigan pulled away in the second half to knock off the Howard Bison on Thursday, 101-80. It was just a 4-point game at the half. St. Louis led by 17 on the 8th seed Georgia, and then started the second half on an 18-0 run. They led 100-60 until Georgia made it slightly, and I mean slightly, more respectable with a 17-2 run to finish. 102-77. Michigan scored 101, setting the NCAA tournament record at this building, the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, and then St. Louis usurped them by a single tally. Steven Anderson approaches the center circle. Adai Mara versus Robbie Avila, and the ball is tapped back by Mara to Burnett. The Wolverines working left to right in their white jersey tops and bottoms. We'll start with the basketball here to kick off the round of 32 in Buffalo. Michigan had an alley-oop jam to begin the game yesterday. No dice on this set. Lendeborg around a meaty Mara screen. Over to Johnson in between the circles with 13. Now right side Cadeau, drifting left lane line, shoots it up there on a pass toward Johnson, and he walks with it as he stumbled. Tried to grab it and then lost his balance on that right lane line and baseline intersection. Wolverines turn it over 24 seconds in.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it was there. So love what Michigan's doing, being able to move that ball from side to side and seeing Michigan kind of putting a little pressure on the Billikens early.
Both these teams play fast, so they do have some higher turnover rates, both around 200th nationally. Right side, here's a spin by Brown, leans, banks, and scores over Cadeau. Little shove after the fact, 2-0 Billikens. Cadeau jogs into the forecourt near sideline for Michigan. 32-3, 1 win shy of matching a program record for victories set by the 2018 team that played on the final Monday night in April in 2018. Left point Burnett, over to the left wing. Namari picks up the bounce to Cadeau. He'll shoot a 3 over Jones and knock it down. Elliot Cadeau's 55th tray, and the Wolverines jump in front 3-2, 18:46 left first half.
Yeah, good sign for Elliot Cadeau being able to knock down that shot.
Left corner rebuttal 3, Brown airborne and pure. Brown shoots it at 40%, 5-3 Billikens, 18:33 left first half.
Well, that's what they do, you know, and I'll tell you what, he was there for it.
Alley-oop, Mara up toward Lendeborg, catches, didn't go up for it, lays it up and in low on the left anyways after a few Billikens converge. Wolverines tied up at 5, 18-20 in what figures to be a seesaw offensive affair. McContry slithers right lane line, Euros over Mara, floats it up there high off the heel and then tickles the twine on a friendly bounce. 7-5 St. Louis, 18:08 left first half.
Yeah, high octane, I tell you what.
Lendeborg around a hedge from Johnson, angles left baseline. Pestered by McContry, flips it left wing Mara, shovels it back Lendeborg. Shot clock halfway gone, Michigan down 2. Left elbow Lendeborg, feed the post. It's Mara working against Avila. Backs him down, spins left baseline. Hook shot is pure. Nifty move from Adai Mara. Knotted up at 7 apiece, 17:45 first half.
Yeah, Michigan's clicking on all cylinders right now.
Jones over to Green on a skip, 40 feet out left side. Right wing Avila, the A-10's player of the year. Couple of dribbles left, now steps to the left, shoots a 3, knocks it down. St. Louis is 4 of 4 from the floor to start, 10-7 Billikens. As advertised from the start, Michigan's 3 of 3. Cadeau, left side, takes it free throw line, underneath the cup, high bank shot, a little bit strong, rebound loose, spike to the deck, foul on the floor on St. Louis.
And that's where Michigan can do some damage at, being able to get some second and third shot opportunities.
McContry the foul, the sophomore from Milwaukee, a third teamer in the A-10. He picks up the foul. 17-13 left on a halted first half clock. Billikens with an early 10-7 lead on Michigan. Lengthy conversation here before Michigan sends Elliot Cadeau to the left baseline. That was odd. That was a good, 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, I think the teams were trying to get together and huddle up and had a little commotion going on there.
Right pocket, Cadeau surveys the scene, defended by Jones. English is a pass, low block right to the Spaniard Mara. Backs down against Avila. 2 left-handed skips, pivots, low, floats, and got fouled as Mara got upended by Avila, tumbled to the deck, and he earns a couple of free throws. The St. Louis fans rain some boos down to the officiating crew as Avila, who averages 26 minutes a game, picks up his first. And with how dynamic he is, his foul issues against Michigan's size will be a storyline for the entire game.
Yeah, I tell you what, I like Michigan's demeanor coming out, knowing that this team is red hot right now, but not really getting bothered by it. I mean, this team is going to knock down some shots, and you got to make sure you keep your composure.
Mara at the free throw line, where he's been much better in the second half of the season, almost 70%. Rattles home the first. Michigan down 2-10 to 8, 17:01 to play first half. Remember, Mara, through mid-January, was shooting 41% at the stripe. He has inflated the free throw percentage to 55 for the season. Second one airborne, and a plink goes out. Rebound McContry in St. Louis. Still 10-8. SLU with the lead on Michigan. 16:55 left first half for a spot in the Sweet 16. Left wing Avila shoots a 3. It's up and it's in and out. SLU's first miss. Rebound Mara. Michigan wants to push down 2. Cadeau has it, jogging left to right. At the point, around a Johnson screen. Right corner, catch and shoot. Burnett 3. Bullseye. Damari Burnett's 56th of the year, and the Wolverines in front, 11-10. Silky smooth in transition. Jones shoves the other way, goes for the layup, swatted at a chase down by Mara. Deflects to Lendeborg. 5-on-4 Michigan. Cadeau fakes it past Lendeborg. Lob it up right corner. Burnett touch pass the axe. Shot fake. Wheels into the paint. Floater is good. Michigan up 13-10. Michigan with a big time block into a calm lay-in.
Yeah, that's going to be a big difference in the game, is Michigan being able to play some defense.
Avila over to the right side, McContry, not much of a three-point threat at 29%. Dances right elbow. Zings a pass. It was between Avila and Green. Trickles out of bounds near sideline. And that brings us to our first media timeout. Michigan weathers the early red-hot shooting from St. Louis. The Billikens started 4 of 4. They finish 0 of 2 in the stretch, and Michigan enjoys a 3-point lead after 4 minutes, 2 seconds. It's 13-10 Wolverines as we pause for this on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
Not many things come with a lifetime guarantee. Cars? Nope. Computers?
Goodbye.
Not even cuckoo clocks. Now there's a new Michigan lottery game that offers a lifetime of cash.
Hi, $1 Millionaire for Life ticket, please.
It's Millionaire for Life. Drawings are 7 days a week with a top prize of $1 million a year for as long as you live.
Guaranteed.
And there's a second prize of $100,000 a year for life. Play Michigan Lottery's new Millionaire for Life. One win.
Lasts a lifetime.
Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
The madness continues after this word from your local station.
Over Yak, right wing 3 for the win. Oh, yeah!
Yes, sir.
This is Michigan basketball from Learfield.
It's Truck Month with the Ford crew.
Care for a Truck Month trivia contest, Sam?
Oh, you know I can't resist, Hank.
Okay, fact. Truck Month happens only once a year.
Fact. It's the best time to buy a new Ford truck.
Fact. Ford F-Series is the best-selling lineup of trucks in America for 49 years.
Fact. America loves Ford Truck Month.
Fact. I agree with that fact.
Based on 1977 to 2025 CY Industry reported total sales.
Easy Plan customers who trade in their current vehicle can lease a 2025 F-150 Hybrid Super Crew for $339 a month for 36 months with $2,329 cash due at signing. Payment includes waived security deposit, excludes title, taxes, and license fees. Not all buyers will qualify for low-mileage Ford Credit Red Carpet Lease. Cash due at signing is after $4,500 in incentives. Offer only valid on Package 200A. Take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by March 31st. Lease a 2025 F-150 Hybrid for only $339 a month. Think Ford first.
Broadcast of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship is authorized under broadcast rights granted by the NCAA through Westwood One. It is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the NCAA and Westwood One is strictly prohibited. 15:58 to play first half. Wolverines a 13-10 lead on the Billinikens of St. Louis. Terry, Will Cheddar had a pretty colorful quote about Michigan's defense after the game Thursday against Howard. Quote, "Our defense was, horse crap," end quote. Michigan gives up 4 of 6 shooting, but did you like how they finished that stretch with a couple of pesky defensive stops?
Yes, I did. Even the shots that they've made, the Billinikens have made, Michigan has been there to challenge those shots with a hand up. And one thing you don't want to do is get into fouling jump shooters. Just close out and contest. And if they're making them, they're making them.
And a noteworthy staying of the starting 5 out there for Michigan. Normally we see Roddy Gale Jr. even before the under-16, but Mara on the floor still. Gale heads to the scorer's table now as Mara lob it up, caught by Johnson, pivots, floats, and scores. Easy pickings over McCottry, 6'9", Morez Johnson Jr. just shoos McCottry away, 15-10 Michigan, and I think it was because of that play set to keep Mara in there. Quentin Jones skips it left wing, Avila. Pestered by Mara, 20 feet out, skips a pass toward McCottry, catches, lays, too strong, good contest on that retreat from Johnson, and Rez comes up with a Michigan rebound. Lendeborg lob it up Mara, Michigan an 8-0 run. Mara looks around. Now he'll back down Avila. Spins into the paint. Euros a hook shot. Nowhere close. Rebound trickles to Cadeau. Jumping floater. No, but he's going to the free throw line. Avila around that play. If it's him, it's number 2. Yes, indeed. Robbie Avila, the A-10's player of the year. His second foul at the 15-16 mark.
Well, that's just simply Michigan using that force on the inside. When we talk about playing with physicality.
Cadeau at the stripe with 15-16 to play and decision time for Josh Schertz and St. Louis. Wolverines in front 15-10. Cadeau's first is bullseye for him. A 72%er at the stripe. Mara leaves with 3 points, 2 assists, and a board in 5 minutes. And the pride of Buffalo, who they're calling Marty. March Roddy. Roddy Gale Jr. on the floor for the first time today. Cadeau's second. In and out, a 9-0 run still for Michigan. Rebound without contention for the Billinikens, Quentin Jones. Crawls into the timeline, now high to the right side. Wears 1 on that blue jersey. Over to Avila at the point, playing with those 2 fouls. Nudges into Burnett. Any contact for Avila is going to be some relevant play here. Lane line Jones, skip it into a lay-in from McCottry low on the right. And Michigan's 9-0 run no more. 2.5-minute scoring drought from St. Louis is done. 16-12 Michigan. Gale slips it left corner. Shot fake Burnett. Storms left baseline. Leans in. Floats. No, but he's going to the line. Damari Burnett asserts himself, and he's got a couple of free throws coming up. As Quentin Jones picks up the foul. Already the 4th on St. Louis. 14:42 before halftime.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing. And Damari Burnett being able to show and go there. They're trying to put a little pressure on him, trying to close out on shooters because he was able to bang that 3 in early. Burnett
had 27 points over his last 2 ball games. 15 in the win Thursday. Burnett sights it, shoots it, missed it. A 79.5% free throw shooter misfires, and the Wolverines early on are 2 of 5 at the stripe. Really the lone blemish for them offensively. They've missed more at the line in 3 shots than from the floor, 6 for 8. 14:42 to play first half. Michigan a 16-12 lead. Burnett sights it, shoots it, and missed it off to the left. An 0 for 2 trips for Burnett. Normally automatic or close to it at the line. Rebound St. Louis.
Yeah, next play mentality right now.
Right side McCottry over to the point. Avila out there with 2 fouls. Went for a pass stolen away. Johnson fighting for it underneath the deck. He's in some trouble on the March Madness logo. Whistle, jump ball. Possession arrow keeps it with St. Louis. But Michigan's athleticism and physicality seeming to perplex one of the best and most fascinating players in the country, Robbie Avila. Substitutions for the first time for St. Louis. Brady Dunlap, Ishan Sharma, 2 elite 3-point shooters on the floor for the first time, as is Kellen Thames, who shoots 65% from the line. Avila staying out there, as is McCottry.
Yeah, that physicality is there.
Michigan has Trey McKinney out for the first time. Mara returns. Avila left wing, shoots a three, nowhere close. Rebound offensively for Thames, and the Billikens inside. Went for Avila, knocked out of bounds, deflected by Lendeborg. Then it glanced off Avila. It's Michigan's ball thanks to activity from Yaxel Lendeborg.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's not quitting on plays. Michigan could have easily relented there because you gave up an offensive rebound, but relentless after the ball.
Michigan 16, St. Louis 12. 6 minutes deep into the first half now. Right wing Lendeborg, dump it down Mara, backing down against Avila. Spins, hooks, and scores. Avila's got to be careful with 2 fouls. And Mara, that was a practice-esque drill. 18-12 U of M.
Yeah, I tell you what, Mara's becoming automatic down there on that low block.
5 points, 2 dimes for Mara early on. Right wing Thames, probes, feed Avila. Shoots a right wing three off the front rim. Rebound down to Lendeborg. Lob it up. 50-50 ball. Caught by Mara over his shoulder. Able to bang it home off glass for 2. 20-12 Michigan.
Man, how athletic is that play there by Adai Mara?
It was a go route from Mara to Michigan's tallest receiver. Right wing Thames has it for the blue-clad Billikens, who trail Michigan by 8 with a spot in the Sweet 16 in Chicago on Friday on the line. McCottry high to the left side, has Yax on him on a switch. Give it back Avila, considers a catch-and-shoot three. Give it Dunlap, back Avila, up fake, back over Dunlap. Left pocket three, up and good. 2 open for Brady Dunlap, a 44%er from the stripe. Slew within 5, 20-15 Michigan, 12:55 left first half.
Yeah, you got to be able to complete plays. This is one of those games where it's KYP, know your personnel.
Michigan going where they've had their bread buttered. Right block Mara, one-on-one against Avila. He'll spin, he'll hook again. It's off the heel. Rebound down to St. Louis and Kellen Thames. Zigzags his way straight up to shoot. Goes in on Yax, Banks misses, but a foul. Lendeborg motioning for hands up. He thought he had good defense there. Dusty May wanting an explanation from Steven Anderson, who made the call. And it's Yaxel Lendeborg's first foul. Wolverines first of the game.
Well, Michigan's got to be able to stop the basketball first and foremost. I mean, can't let the guy get up a full head of steam, at least making change directions.
So Kellen Thames, who has a chance to break the all-time single-season field goal percentage for St. Louis, shoots the first and knocks it down. He's the same free throw and field goal percentage at 65. It's now 20-16. St. Louis within 4, and for the first time, Robbie Avila takes a seat. Backup center Paul Etieno, the Kenyan native and a senior, 6'9", 230 on the floor. Second free throw rattles out. Rebound Mara without contention from Otieno. Michigan's basketball up 4, 12.5 to play first half. It's 20-16 U of M. Cadeau has it at that center circle emblem, the March Madness logo, just in front of the H in March. Skip it right point. Mara has it. Lets Cadeau glide by. Right wing, Lendeborg, shot fake, angling to the right baseline, jumper up, in and out, no good. Rebound down to Sharma in St. Louis. Wolverines now 8 of 12 from the floor. Here comes Thames, left lane line, kick it Sharma, catch and shoot three over McKinney, missed it off the front iron, rebound to Gale. Here comes Michigan left to right. Gale loses the handle, pickpocketed by Sharma, it was gift wrapped. St. Louis right to left, down to Michigan 20-16. 11:54 left first half. Media stoppage of the next dead ball. McCottry drives in on Mara, right baseline, zings it, punt left wing. Dunlap another three, another make. Back-to-back threes from Brady Dunlap, who had 11 against Georgia, 6 early off the bench, and St. Louis is within 1, 20-19.
Yeah, way too much daylight there by an elite shooter. I mean, Michigan's got to be there on the catch.
Right lane line, Mara, alley-oop to Lendeborg, who missed the jam. Deflects McCottry, right to left, takes it in, rejected by Mara, but a finish. Otieno on the putback. It's 21-20 St. Louis. The Billikens are on a 9-0 run. Left side, Lendeborg bumped by Thames on a pass from Cadeau, and that brings us to a media timeout. Wolverines giving up a 9-0 run.
And a lot of that is coming from second and third efforts. I mean, if Mara's going to block the shot, then Michigan players got to be in pursuit to go after it. Come up with that 50-50 ball. You got Michigan players almost kind of retreating back like we have possession of the basketball. So you got to be able to finish plays.
21-20 St. Louis, 11-14 to play first half in this round of 32 matchup on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
Here's a club you'll want to get into, Club Citgo. It's the super easy app that opens the door to great fuel savings and more. Sign up and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Plus everyday savings that really add up. You can also enter our sweepstakes with multiple winners and giveaways, like free gas for a year. And Club Citgo makes paying easy with a convenient mobile pay feature. So welcome to the club where all the action is. Download Club Citgo today. Savings could up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
Hey, Wolverine fans, it's college basketball season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Alley Oops. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Michigan basketball games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Michigan Wolverines. Let's go Wolverines! SeatGeek.
Gambling can be fun.
Here we go.
Kind of like skydiving. The thrill, the excitement. But be careful, or gambling will start to feel like skydiving without a parachute. For tips that will help keep you out of harm's way, go to don'tregretthebet.org. A message from the Michigan Gaming Control Board. Have a gambling problem? Call the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go, go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
St. Louis, a 21-20 edge on Michigan, 11-14 left here in the first half from Buffalo. Spot in the Sweet 16 up for grabs for a Michigan team looking for their 7th straight appearance in the Sweet 16 when making the dance. St. Louis has never won multiple tournament games in an NCAA berth. Michigan's postseason journey is presented by Meijer. With your help, we can provide meals to our hungry neighbors through Simply Give. Whenever you shop Meijer, you help people in your community to work, to play, to live, and to learn. Learn more at MeijerCommunity.com. Terry, what concerned you about Michigan's defensive work on that 9-0 run?
Well, number one, you got to be able to stop the basketball. It's 8-8 with paint points. Their paint points is not coming by post-up. Their paint points are coming by transition. That was one of my keys. Able to get downhill in transition.
Michigan with a basketball. Cadeau left wing sights a three after a pass from Rez and swishes it down. Oh, that was a flawless blob there to end St. Louis's 9-0 run. Michigan tilts back in front, 23-21, 9 minutes deep first half. Deion Brown shimmies into the paint, leans in, floats no, but it's Otieno who comes up with a deflection, lays it up and in, count it in a foul. Paul Otieno comes up with that big-time putback, ties it at 23. And it's Morez Johnson Jr. with his first, Wolverines' second foul. And Robbie Avila, the A-10's player of the year, he was -4 when he was on the floor with 2 fouls. And here's St. Louis taking advantage without Avila. Free throw good, 24-23 Billikens.
Yeah, well, those are the plays that I'm talking about. Michigan met him at the rim, was able to get that stop. But then you got to be able to clean up.
Cadeau zings one right side. Shot fake Burnett in the right corner. Drudges right baseline, leans in. Banks missed it. He had a clean look at it, and he missed it. Rebound Otieno. Pass deflected up toward Brown. Curls to the free throw line. Dunlap falls to the deck. Otieno shovels Sharma. He is a threat from anywhere from deep. Right side, Jones with it. 24-23 St. Louis. 10:24 left. Here's Sharma into the lane. Floats. Yes, count it in the foul. A bump by Morez Johnson Jr. No, they're going to say Namari Burnett on a push, which is fortunate. Burnett's first, team's third, 26-23. St. Louis with its largest advantage. So the Billikens at 10 for 17 from the floor. That's 59%. Michigan 9 of 15. That's 60. Free throw up, and he rattles home for Sharma, who shoots him at 86%, 27-23 St. Louis, 10-19 before intermission.
Well, what's been the difference is when Michigan built their lead, they were able to get those defensive stops. So,
right wing McKinney, up fake, takes it in on Jones, pauses left elbow, vacates Cadeau left wing in front of the St. Louis bench. Face guarded by Sharma, takes it in, leans, floats, banks, and scores. Elliott Cadeau with an early 9. He leads everybody, 27-25. Billikens lead cut to 2. Quentin Jones in between the circles for the up-tempo St. Louis Billikens. Step back straight on 3 over Yaks off the front rim. Rebound tapped over to Cadeau for Michigan.
Yeah, those are the ones that come back to get there. That's an excellent rebound there by Elliott Cadeau.
No-look feed right corner. McKinney pops up a 3 for the lead and swishes it down. Trey McKinney's first points, 28-27, 9:32 left. Offensive bonanza early in Buffalo.
I tell you what, Elliott Cadeau is pushing all the right buttons. I tell you that. He's getting his teammates involved. He's doing what he needs to do.
7th lead change, 6 ties. Jones in the paint, flutters it up there, nowhere close, off the left side of the glass. Rebound pounds its way to McKinney. Decks it, takes it strong. Euros loses the handle. Saved by Johnson underneath the cup. Pivots, floats, missed it from 2 feet away, and it's knocked out of bounds. Michigan requesting a review with 9:08 to play first half. 28-27 Michigan. And when I say Michigan requesting, the players were requesting. Jacob Cohn, Michigan's director of analytics, gazes at his tablet and says no challenge. Adai Mara back in there for Michigan. Will Cheddar summoned for the first time with McKinney, Johnson, and Cadeau. EC has played every moment of this game so far. Yaxel Lendeboer getting his first breather now. 28-27 Wolverines. 9 minutes first half. Center circle, Otieno. To the left point, the backup center in for Avila with 2 fouls. Sharma at the point, 3 over. Cadeau blocked it. Deflects to McKinney. EC with his 6th swat of the season. McKinney probes right point to Mara left side over to Cadeau. 9 points, 2 assists, 2 boards, and now a block. Cadeau, no-look feed, left block. Here's Mara. Pounds in on Otieno. Hooks it. Missed it short. Rebound McCautry for St. Louis. Billikens right to left. Down a point to Michigan. 8:30 left and a palming violation. Officially a double dribble. Jeffrey Anderson a little shimmy on that call. It's Michigan's basketball on St. Louis's 3rd turnover. Otieno leaves, and we see the return of Robbie Avila. Like Michigan, a balanced attack. Avila leads the team with 13 points a game, but he is the engine. And he'll have to be careful with his 2-foul scenario. Michigan the basketball, McKinney around a Mara screen, picks up the bounce, 30 feet out, straight ahead. Left wing Cadeau, sights a heat check 3, off the heel, high rebound, back tap, volleyball style by Johnson to McKinney. Right wing Cheddar, Shed Sharma, leans in, banks and scores! Will Cheddar, a nifty move for 2, 30-27 Michigan, 8 minutes before intermission.
Will Cheddar able to use the show and go there. Something that they're probably not used to on the scouting report.
Avila through his goggles, analyzes, gives McCautry cut to the basket, finger roll over the right side of the rim, good over Cheddar, and it's 30-29. Michigan's lead whittled to a single tally. 7:41 left, first half, media stoppage, next dead ball.
Yeah, that's a tough ass there.
McKinney to the right wing, Mara, handoff Cadeau, who has been awesome. Cadeau blows into the paint, over Brown, floats it up, a lot of contact, no. Johnson got the rebound, got fouled, went up. They're gonna say it's a foul on the floor. Cadeau with some words. He didn't like the fact there was no whistle. Elliott Cadeau, who Dusty May has talked about, he is elite when he's in neutral. He's been elite all game. We'll see if he gets a little feisty here. 30-29, Michigan up 1. After the foul on St. Louis, it's 6th. It was against Morez Johnson Jr., and they might want to take a look at it. In any event, we'll pause for a break. 30-29 Michigan, 7:28 to play. First half on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
When prenatal surgery is your baby's best chance. When your sight is set on gene therapy for retinal disease. When a new airway is what you need to keep breathing. Only Michigan answers. With specialized treatment options that aren't available anywhere else in Michigan, we provide the nationally recognized care you need without having to travel out of state. Learn how University of Michigan Health answers the call at michigananswers.org.
Michigan basketball plays here.
Fires Wolf on the right wing, splits 2, over to Burnett, left wing, a 3 for the win.
The Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
30-29, Wolverines leading St. Louis in the 1-9 matchup here in the Midwest region. A berth in the Sweet 16 on Friday night up for grabs. Listen to all things college sports, including live games and talk on SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84, and streaming on the SiriusXM app. With the national champion Terry Mills, our engineer Tony Butler, and our host Rob Joyce, I'm Brian Bush. Terry, what's impressed you about Elliot Cadeau? 9 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, and a block so far.
Just stuff in the stat sheet. I mean, he's doing everything. I mean, being aggressive, he's not fouling. He's just doing all the right things right now. And he can get some of his other teammates to get on board with him, and Michigan can kind of start building on his lead, because right now he's playing at a very, very high level.
Michigan, of course, leaned on Elliot Cadeau at the point this year after Trey Donaldson was the point guard last year. Trey looked awesome for Miami in their win over Missouri in St. Louis. A bit of a road game for the Hurricanes. Another former Wolverine, Terrace Reed Jr. My goodness. He had 19 and 16 in the first half. He single-handedly led UConn past Furman.
Yeah, they made a comment to him. I seen him speaking with him after the game. And
Morez Johnson Jr. at the line for 2. That was what they were looking at the monitor. He makes the first free throw, 31-29 Michigan.
Yeah, and talked about first time since Elvin Hayes to be able to come up with that numbers, and not sure if he knew who Elvin Hayes was.
No, but I'll tell you, I know who Terrace Reed Jr. is. That's a great young man who went through a lot 2 years ago here. Second free throw good. Johnson with a couple of makes, 32-29. Rez leaves. Yaxel Lendeborg, who has 4 points in 11 minutes on the floor with McKinney, Cadeau, Cheddar, and Morrow. Also, yesterday, congrats, Kim Barnes-Rico, Michigan women's basketball, rolling Holy Cross. They've got NC State tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Chrysler. Get your tickets, mgoblue.com/tickets. Here it's 32-29 Michigan, 7:20 left first half. Avila has it in between the circles. The star for the Billikens playing with 2 fouls. Right baseline, a drive in by Deion Brown, and a bump foul called on a little nudge. Elliot Cadeau saddled with his first. EC has played every moment of this ball game, and he picks up Michigan's 4th as a team.
Well, I'll tell you what, he might have to play every moment of this game the way he's playing.
With no LJ Kaysen, Cadeau has played at least 30 minutes without Kaysen in 4 of the first 6 games. Right baseline, a dangerous trigger into Avila with the 5-second allotment dwindling. Left side, Sharma face guarded by Lendeborg. The right wing, McContry, shot clock at 10, Michigan by 3. McContry into the paint, shot fake on Mara, leans in, floats and blocked by Adai out of bounds with 6 on the shot clock. Adai Mara already with 3 blocks. He's closing in on Roy Tarpley's single-season Michigan record, now 2 away with 95 on the year.
Yeah, I tell you, he's becoming such a smart player defensively, not leaving his feet and still being able to block those shots.
McContry analyzes, skips low on the right, up fake Brown, feed to McContry, blocked by Mara. They're going to say count it, and we'll see if they review it with 6:55 to play first half. Michigan bringing a sub in with Roddy Gale Jr., I think to give him a little time to maybe take a look. 32-31 Michigan. Mara looking up at the replay. And Jacob Cohn shaking his head. Says, nope, it was a goaltend. So play on, 32-31. Count the bucket for McContry. Gale out there with Cadeau, Lendeborg, McKinney, and Mara. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, I think Mara's just a victim of having all that length to work with, because he recovered faster than most players could probably recover to block that shot.
Yeah, he had his back turned to McContry before he ended up with a block. Left point, Cadeau. Heat check, rainmaking 3. Oh, yeah! Cadeau with a dozen, his third triple. Michigan 35, Billikens 31. That three-pointer brought to you by Citgo top-tier Tri-Clean gasoline. Michigan fans, when you start with Citgo, you're good to go. Avila, left wing, dribbles a couple of times. Sight to three over Morrow. Misses it way off to the right. Lendeborg with a good box out of Brown. Deflects it up to Cadeau. Gale has it in between the circles. Over to Cadeau. Dump it down Mara. 6:20 left first half. Whip it right wing. Lendeborg sight to three. Bullseye on a swing. Michigan up 38-31. 6:12 left first half. Michigan 6 of 7 from the long line. McCottry left side. Over to the right wing. Green. He shoots a three over Mara. Nowhere close. Bricked it. Rebound to Lendeborg. He wants to hit the turbo. Near sideline Yaks. Inside of 6 minutes left. Dump it down Mara. He's been clinical today. Working against Avila. Fakes a pass in. One dribble spins. Flows. Yes, with a rattle. 40-31. Michigan 8 straight points. Near sideline McCottry. A stop and a bucket. Might call a timeout on the Billiken side. Avila to the free throw line. Give it. McCottry drives in, and a tug foul by Lendeborg. 5:35 left first half, and it's number 2 on Michigan's 9th ever Big Ten Player of the Year, Yaxel Lendeborg.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give McCottry a lot of credit because I'll tell you what he is. He's a slasher and a cutter. He's not a threat to knock down three-point shots, but I'll tell you what, he's put a lot of pressure on Michigan on those backdoor cuts.
Dunlap and Jones back in for St. Louis. Trey Green and Ishan Sharma exit. 5:35 left first half. Michigan a 40-31 lead. Mara set to do some jumping jacks at 7-3 as Quentin Jones, 6'5", triggers it in. Looks right, foul, and it's on McCottry. He barrels into Cadeau away from the basketball. McCottry has 2, and St. Louis has 7 in the half.
Yeah, when I tell you that EC is doing it on both ends, he's doing it on both ends.
He has been brilliant today. And now we'll see how Michigan handles no Yaxel Lendeborg with 2 fouls. St. Louis managed the non-Avila minutes well. McCottry exits, Kellen Thames in with McCottry at 2 fouls.
And I'll tell you what, this could be one of those timeout shots here. I'll tell you what, Michigan can get something down here.
Cadeau jets his way to the right elbow, zigzags inside, takes it, floats it, missed it off the heel, rebound, pinballs its way to Brady Dunlap for the Billikens. Clad in blue, charging right to left, they slow it down with Avila. Avila, crouch dribble right wing, bothered by Mara. Over to Dunlap, around a screen from Avila, shoots a 3, up and good. Brady Dunlap is 3 of 3 from deep in 6 minutes. Billikens halt Michigan's run, 40-34 Wolverines. 5 minutes left first half now.
Yeah, I'm sitting right here in front of that play, and I couldn't have screamed out any louder to say that that's the young man that you need to be on.
Mara over right side, McKinney rebuttal 3. It's way short, but a 2-hop rebound saved by Mara in front of the St. Louis bench. Michigan +3 on the glass early, 16-13. They're +6 in the game. McKinney wheels into the paint, shot fake, Euros, spins, banks and scores. Oh, a nifty move and some English on that. Little glance off the window, 42-34 Michigan, 4:29 left before intermission.
Yeah, Reyes was able to open that up for him.
Jones underneath, walks with it because of Mara's presence. SLU's 5th turnover. Adai Mara has been awesome today. And he earns a well-done respite. McKinney, Gale, and Mara leave. Here in the home of the Buffalo Sabres, a line change as Cheddar comes back in, as does Burnett and Gale with Cadeau and Johnson.
I tell you, Reyes was able to use that little seal off to get Trey that shot.
42-34 Michigan, 4:15 left. Left wing, here's Cheddar, a line drive 3. Off the front iron, rebound without much contention to Quentin Jones for the Billikens. Has it far sideline, screen from Avila. Jones zigzags, leave it Dunlap. Shot fake at the point, he almost triggered again. To Thames, fakes a handoff. At the point, had it deflected. Favorable glance over to Jones. Right wing with 10 on the timer. Media stoppage, next dead ball. Here comes Jones, bumps into Burnett. Leave it for Brown, takes it in. Spike pass to no one in particular, saved by Avila. Up fake with 2 on the shot clock. He'll lean back, he'll feint. It's blocked by Rez. Shot clock violation, Michigan. Quicksand defense from the Maize and Blue. The Billikens had no answer.
Yeah, those are game-winning plays right there. I love what Will Cheddar did. I mean, he got after it.
3:41 before intermission. Wolverines a 42-34 lead on the Billikens with a spot in the Sweet 16 on the line here on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
Motown Legends, TNT, together again. Temptations. For Tops, Saturday night, May 9th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Tickets start at $55 and on sale now at the box office and etix.com. Saturday night, May 9th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Temps and Tops together again.
Wolverine basketball and great beers go together like an alley-oop and slam dunk. Founders Brewing Company is a proud sponsor of Michigan Athletics and has been brewing up high-quality, highly rated beers like All Day IPA, Michigan Pilsner, and their hazy IPA Mortal Bloom right here in Michigan for over 25 years. Whether you're cheering from your couch or at Chrysler Center, these beers are perfect to celebrate every Michigan win all season long. Learn more about Founders and where to find your go-to game day beer at foundersbrewing.com.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Nothing says home like Aunt Millie's. Whether it's in your cupboard, at your local Meijer, or even at Chrysler Center. From pregame breakfast, tailgate sliders, or postgame victory food, Aunt Millie's is baking memories from their family to yours. Pick up all your Aunt Millie's favorites at your local store, or grab a hot dog or hamburger at Chrysler Center to see what we're all about. Aunt Millie's, closer to home.
Michigan an 8-point advantage here on the 9th seed in the Midwest region. St. Louis 42-34, 3:41 to play here in this first half. Subscribe to Go Blue Podcasts. Wide range of audio content for you there, including wall-to-wall coverage of Michigan basketball on Defend the Block. Go Blue Podcasts. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Well, Terry, Dusty May said about the attack against St. Louis, quote, hopefully our size and length can disrupt their timing enough. Well, St. Louis started 4 of 4 from the floor. 6 then, they are 9 for 23. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have. I mean, I think what they've done is that they've taken away their airspace, if you will. They're not just letting them catch and shoot the basketball, putting them in a lot of one-on-one isolation moves. And Adai Mara has just been brilliant at staying down and being able to challenge those shots. They're trying to go at him at the rim, which is kind of a no-no, in my opinion.
Wolverines have the basketball. Cadeau, Lendeborg, Gale, Burnett, and Johnson on the floor. Yak's playing with 2 fouls. Cadeau has 12 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. He's been out there the whole game. Cadeau wheels into the paint, leans in, high banker crawls out, tapped up by Lendeborg, and it's saved by the Billikens point guard, or 6'3" guard Dion Brown. Yaks, he got in there physically, did not pick up his 3rd foul. High to the left side, Thames. Over to the point, Otieno. No Avila on the floor. He has 2 fouls. Left wing, Jones strokes a 3. It's strong. Gale soars up for the rebound near his hometown of Niagara Falls. Rebound, Michigan. 3 minutes left first half. Michigan by 8. Cadeau, right side. Here's Lendeborg, a 3. It's off the heel. Rebound down to Thames in St. Louis. Michigan now 6 of 10 from deep. Slew is 5 of 14. Right side, contested 3. Dunlap in and out. Rebound, back tap, Lendeborg, a hold on Michigan. And it's on Morez Johnson Jr. 2 on Rez, but Lendeborg got a little aggressive there. That could have been 3 on him. So Adai Mara has to come in for one of those young men with 2 fouls. It'll be for Rez. 2:45 left first half. Michigan up 42-34. Man, Dunlap can shoot if he's being held.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about a quick trigger, man.
And it's remarkable because he scored 11 against Georgia on Thursday in the round of 64. That was his highest point total since a win at Davidson on February 3rd. This guy looks like he should be in a 3-point contest here in Buffalo.
Yeah, well, it's the coaching staff that's holding him back.
And this is a sharp coaching staff. Deflected inbound. Otieno grabs it. Elbows Namari. It's Michigan's ball on a offensive foul from Otieno, and they're going to review it too. Otieno grabbed it, and then he really shoved an elbow at Namari Burnett.
Yeah, when I talk about taking away airspace and making teams feel uncomfortable, that's exactly what Michigan is doing, and that'll make a player do that, is kind of throw an elbow or trying to get some airspace to get them off of them. But
2:42 to play first half. Michigan a 42-34 lead.
Rolling on the floor is an offensive foul. That player's under review.
That is Jeffrey Anderson's voice as we remind you to score more with the college-branded Venmo debit card. Rep your team with every tap. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. Select schools available.
Yeah, I'd like to say that that's probably play on or nothing, but
it's worth a look because of just how emphatic the elbow was.
Yeah, I would say it's not a basketball play is what they're probably going to say. But
St. Louis hasn't scored in the last 2.5 minutes as they eye their first ever NCAA tournament appearance with multiple victories. 11th appearance, first since 2019, but they've never won multiple. The last time they were a 9 seed, they got close, beating Memphis in the 8-9 game. And then they lost to top-seeded Michigan State by 4, 65-61. Short look at the monitor. Now the three officials, Jeffrey Anderson, Steven Anderson, and Lee Cassell talking. Michigan a 42-34 lead. Winner of this gets either Alabama or Texas Tech in the Sweet 16 Friday in Chicago. Those two teams play late night tomorrow. Conversation over. Here's Jeffrey Anderson.
We have an overturn on the foul. It's a cylinder foul on full right. It will be 1-1 for St. Louis.
Wow. So instead of Otieno with a foul, they flip it over to Namari Burnett's second foul.
Yeah, saying that he was actually too close.
Dusty May a bit perplexed in his blue quarter zip, a spiffy look here on this Saturday afternoon. So Paul Otieno, 78%er at the line, efficient at the stripe for a big man. Already 1 of 1 today at the line for a 1-and-1 with each team at 7 fouls in the half. And Michigan now with 3 starters at 2 infractions, Burnett, Lendeborg, and Johnson. So Burnett having a few words very calmly with Steven Anderson. Now Otieno at the line. Shoots it up, rattled it out. We'll see, maybe ball or whistle don't lie there. Wolverines get the rebound, still up 8, 2:37 to play before halftime.
Yeah, the basketball gods is spoken.
Left wing Gale, lob it up, alley-oop, Lendeborg crams it down right baseline. The two great friends, Gale and Lendeborg, connect. Michigan's largest lead at 44-34.
Well, hopefully that gets Yaks going there. Usually a dunk like that usually kind of gets the guy fired up.
Otieno left wing. Avila on the bench. Left wing Dunlap shoots a 3. It's well short. Rebound Cadeau. Almost loses it out of bounds, but he saves it, trapezing that left baseline. Cadeau directing traffic as he dribbles into the right wing. Now Lendeborg chucks up a pass caught at the apex by Mara. Backing down against Otieno. Pivots in the paint. Floats. No, but he got fouled by Otieno. And a dime Mara heads to the stripe for a couple of free throws on Otieno's first foul, unless they change it.
Yeah, I'd like to see Yaks, when he drop it in there, is to make a hard cut to the basket and then allow him to be able to operate Mara on the inside. Someone's going to replace him if he dives.
Mara's first free throw. Point goes down, 45-34. Michigan's largest lead at 11 now. Trey McKinney in for Michigan, spelling Yaxel Lendeborg with 2 fouls. Otieno and Jones exit for St. Louis. Avila back out there with 2 fouls. Ishan Sharma, another 3-point sniper for St. Louis on the floor. Mara, second one short. Rebound, popcorns around, and Gale plucks it away from Thames and a reach-in foul. Roddy Gale Jr.'s earning himself a 1-and-1. He was down 1-3 in that battle for the basketball, and Thames reaches in for his second foul.
Yeah, when he plays, he wanted it a little bit more.
Gale doing the dirty work. He has not taken a shot yet from anywhere. 2-3 free throw line, but 4 boards, an assist, and now a steal to earn himself a chance at the line for a 1-and-1.
Well, you don't have to score to be effective.
Free throw good. It's 46-34 Michigan, and they don't call it a steal. They say an offensive rebound, claiming that the Billikens never had possession of it. So 6 straight for Michigan. Lead balloons to 12 with 1:50 before halftime here in Buffalo. The pride of Niagara Falls triggers and misses it strong. Rebound popped up in the air, and Thames comes down with it, almost tumbles to the deck. Well, he went up there with intention after and the Billikens let the previous one go. 46-34 still, Michigan leading 12. Avila in between the circles, pestered by McKinney. Drifting left wing around a Dunlap screen. Has it left pocket, working against Gale. Still dribbling, spinning left baseline. Gale shuts him off. Bounce feed. Here's a float from McCautry. Banks and scores over Mara. Mara required McCautry to throw that one up to about the top of the backboard before it started angling down. 46-36 Michigan. Cadeau right wing with 1:15 left. Flip a pass, intercepted. He was looking for Mara and then realized at the last moment he was covered. Sharma comes up with it, leans in on McKinney. Lob to a driving Thames, laid it up, no, but he got fouled. And Kellen Thames heads to the strike.
Yeah, you talk about EC got caught in between the two about who he wanted to pass it to there. So he's been brilliant thus far.
Adai Mara picks up the foul for Michigan. It's his first foul of the NCAA tournament. Remember, that was a big storyline, Adai's foul issues, but he did not commit a foul in 21 minutes against Howard Thursday. Free throw up and good from Thames, a 65%er. St. Louis within 9, 46-37, 66 seconds to clear first half. Otieno in, Avila out. That 2-foul exit for upcoming defense for St. Louis. Michigan summons a 2-foul Yaxel Lendeboard for an offensive set as Damari Burnett takes a seat. The chess match between two close friends, Dusty May for Michigan, Josh Schertz for St. Louis. Second free throw, off to the right, easy rebound Gale for Michigan in the left corner.
Yeah, I wasn't for sure which Wolverine wanted to run that one down there. Seemed like you or I could have went out there and grabbed that one. A little late reaction.
Speak for yourself there, T. Michigan +3 on the glass. They're +9 where it matters on the scoreboard, 46-37. Cadeau left wing. Skip it over, Mara head of the key. He'll try to spike one, intercepted, intended for McKinney, intercepted Deion Brown. Hits the turbo, leans in, flings a pass, saved by Thames. Over to left wing, Dunlap, Michigan recovers. On a 14-second game clock, shot clock differential. Brown steadies over to Sharma at the point. Takes it right elbow. Feed it right wing Otieno. Bounce. Here comes Dunlap. Shovel it left wing. Fadeaway jumper Brown is a swish. 24 seconds left. Timeout Dusty May in Michigan. So St. Louis trailed by 12 moments ago. A 5-0 mini run has given St. Louis a little bit of momentum with 24.1 on the clock, and Michigan set to hold for the final shot.
Well, I'll tell you what, this team doesn't stop moving on offense. That's the whole key to defending them, is that you have to stay down in the defensive stands the whole time because, I mean, everyone's moving. They're not stopping.
Before we continue, let's pause 10 seconds. It's station identification time here on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield. Welcome back to the KeyBank Center here in Buffalo. Brian Bush, Terry Mills, Tony Butler, and Rob Joyce on hand. Michigan a 46-39 lead on St. Louis with a berth in the Sweet 16 up for grabs. Michigan in its last 6 NCAA tournament appearances, dating back to 2017, has gotten to the second weekend of the event. St. Louis has never won multiple tournament games in an NCAA appearance. It's their 11th all time. The St. Louis basketball team, all their programs known as the Billikens, which I didn't know what it was. It's a mythical creature that is a symbol of luck, optimism, and the university's Jesuit values. But I thought the interesting part was that, and I didn't know this either, they sometimes go by the Bills. And here they are in Buffalo with a good contingent of fans. And I'll tell you, I think I've seen more Bills gear than any individual team gear. That's how much they love the Bills here in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, they love them here in Buffalo. There's no doubt about that. And
Wolverines a 46-39 lead, 24.1 left first half. Shot clock unplugged. Only have a moment. Want to wish all the best to Brad Galley, our buddy from Channel 7, announcing this weekend he's going to be leaving the station in a few weeks. Brad, always such a great asset in the community, in the industry, and a really, really good dude. As good of an interviewer as there is in the area, in the country. So looking forward to seeing what's next from Brad Galley. Hey, he got great interviews out of Jim Harbaugh. That was not necessarily the easiest thing in the world, I'll tell you that. They weren't all winners, but his win percentage was better than most. Wolverines a 46-39 lead. They'll bring out Cadeau, Burnett, McKinney, Lendeborg, and Mara. Cadeau, awesome today. And he's played every second. 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and his 6th block of the season. No Avila out there defensively for the Billikens. He picked up his 2nd foul at the 15-16 mark. And Josh Schertz and these Billikens have been able to kind of maneuver their way to the end of the first half. Remember, when Michigan lost to Purdue in the Big Ten tournament title game, they could not fully take advantage of foul issues for Oscar Clough and Trey Kaufman-Renn. Michigan has led pretty much this entire half. A chance to go up 9 or 10 at the break. Cadeau passed the timeline with 13 seconds left. A little shove by Jones. Play on with 10 at the point. Handoff Mara. Pestered out there by Brown. Yaks with 6. Fouled there with 5.6. And St. Louis just had way too physical defense, way too far out from the basket. They were fortunate the foul didn't come earlier, but it is a bump, and it'll be 2 free throws on the 10th foul for St. Louis. Foul on Deion Brown is first.
Yeah, I was going to be asking about that cylinder call that they called on Amari Burnett. I mean,
you couldn't get a cylinder, you can get a thimble between those two teams. So Yaxel Lendeborg at the stripe where he shoots 82.5%. First one up in a swish, 47-39 Michigan. Avila in and Green in for Slew. Jones and Otieno exit. Michigan gives Elliot Cadeau his first respite of the half. Roddy Gale Jr. in. And Will Cheddar at the scores table. He would replace Yaxel Lendeborg if Yax can connect on this free throw. Bends the knees, shoots it up in the 6th year, rattles it home. 48-39 Michigan, 5.6 left. Cheddar spells Lendeborg. And Josh Schertz has a timeout if he wants to take it. Not looking like it's going to happen. Dunlap comes in. Brown leaves. Dunlap, he has 9 in 11 minutes. Left baseline, Thames triggers Dunlap. Handoff Thames, works his way with 3. Left wing, here's Green. Shot fake, over to the right, shoots a 3, partially blocked, and that's the end of the first half. The Wolverines finish the half with their 6th block, and the Wolverines enjoy a 9-point cushion here at halftime. 48-39 our score. Michigan, a 15-minute lead time in this ball game. As we visit with assistant coach Drew Williamson, here's Terry Mills to talk with Drew.
Yeah, Coach, you talk about two teams, a mirror image. What has been the difference of your team being able to build this lead?
The biggest thing for us is just making sure there's no personnel. The personnel, they got those guys that can make shots off the bench. And when they come in, we can't help and overhelp. Just being able to, I guess, identify the drivers and the shooters. I thought we did a better job later in the first half.
Yeah, from an offensive standpoint, are you getting the looks that you want offensively?
We are. We're trying to play from inside out, play through Adaya, Morez, and even Yaxel, and then we get the kick-out three-pointer. So I thought we did the game plan to a T in the first half offensively.
Well, thanks for your time, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Appreciate it.
Back to you, Brian.
All righty. Thank you very much, Coach. Thanks to Drew Williamson for stopping by here before he heads to that Michigan locker room. Wolverines 48, St. Louis 39. You heard him there, Terry. Said that Michigan, from the offensive standpoint, had their scouting report to a T. What say you for a Michigan team that shot 53% from the floor?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, you can't give that team any airspace, but I tell you what, from an offensive standpoint, they've been very efficient. Game plan has changed a little bit, and they're playing from inside out, as he talked about, and it's paying dividends, and I think you're going to see more of that here in the second half.
So the Wolverines have the lead 48-39. A berth in the Sweet 16 on the line for both of these teams in the Midwest region. Stay tuned for our halftime show. Rob Joyce gets you set for the rest of the games coming up here on this round of 32 Saturday, including the game after hours, Michigan State and Louisville. Also, some of the highlights as the Wolverines enjoy a 9-point lead, 48-39. Pause for a break. This is Michigan basketball from Learfield.
Hey, Michigan fans. This is Trey McKinney of Michigan basketball. Spring is just around the corner. Is your outdoor living area ready for a championship performance this season? As the official decking and railing partner of Michigan Athletics, TimberTech is here to help upgrade your space. It looks like real wood, but won't rot, warp, or splinter, and comes with industry-leading warranties. Order free samples at timbertech.com. That's timbertech.com. Go Blue.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong. You are fearless. You are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Michigan, St. Louis.
Back tap by Lendeborg to himself. Feeds Cano. He tries three. Hey!
This is the NCAA tournament on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
Care for a Truck Month trivia contest, Sam?
Oh, you know I can't resist, Hank.
Okay, fact. Truck Month happens only once a year.
Fact. It's the best time to buy a new Ford truck.
Fact. Ford F-Series is the best-selling lineup of trucks in America for 49 years.
Fact. America loves Ford Truck Month.
Fact. I agree with that fact.
Based on 1977 to 2025 CY Industry reported total sales.
Easy Plan customers who trade in their current vehicle can lease a 2025 F-150 Hybrid Super Crew for $339 a month for 36 months with $2,329 cash due at signing. Payment includes waived security deposit, excludes title, taxes, and license fees. Not all buyers will qualify for low-mileage Ford Credit Red Carpet Lease. Cash due at signing is after $4,500 in incentives. Offer only valid on Package 200A. Take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by March 31st. Lease a 2025 F-150 Hybrid for only $339 a month. Think Ford first.
Welcome to the Michigan Basketball Halftime Show. Analysis, highlights, and stats from the first 20 minutes are on the way. Now, here's your host, Rob Joyce.
Halftime from Buffalo, Michigan leads St. Louis 48-39 as we look back at the opening 20 minutes with first half highlights. Two teams, very similar profiles. It looked like it early on. Teams alternated buckets out of the opening tip. SLU, Michigan, back and forth 3 different times. They would trade buckets. Then a Billiken triple. It was 10-7 St. Louis. Then after a free throw, 10-8, 3 minutes into the game, as SLU made its first 4 shots from the field. Finally would miss the 5th, and that was the opening Michigan needed.
Avila shoots a 3. It's up and it's in and out. SLU's first miss. Rebound Mara. Michigan wants to push down 2. Cadeau has it, jogging left to right. At the point, around a Johnson screen. Right corner, catch and shoot. Burnett 3. Bullseye. Damari Burnett's 56th of the year, and the Wolverines in front, 11-10.
That was followed by an Adai Mara chasedown block into a Yaxel Lendeborg finish. 13-10 Wolverines, 4 minutes in. Run continued after the first media timeout. 9-0 Maize and Blue run in all, and a 16-10 advantage. That includes Robbie Avila, the A-10 Player of the Year, notching his second foul at the 15-16 mark. He stayed in the game. He would not pick up a third, but for a little bit, the Maize and Blue picked on him a little bit.
Michigan 16, St. Louis 12. 6 minutes deep into the first half now. Right wing Lendeborg, dump it down Mara, backing down against Avila. Spins, hooks, and scores. Avila's got to be careful with 2 fouls. And Mara, that was a practice-esque drill. 18-12 U of M.
The first of consecutive Mara baskets as he had a big first half. The lead climbed to 20-12, 7 minutes in. Wolverines looked like they were settling in, but that changed in a flash. Inside of 90 seconds, that 8-point margin was cut to 1, 20-19, and then one sequence later, St. Louis suddenly in the lead.
Right lane line, Mara, alley-oop to Lendeborg, who missed the jam. Deflects McCautry, right to left, takes it in, rejected by Mara, but a finish. Otieno on the putback. It's 21-20 St. Louis. The Billikens are on a 9-0 run.
Happened in less than 2 minutes. That 8-point lead became a 1-point deficit. Elliot Cadeau would stop the bleeding with a 3 out of the under 12 timeout. That, though, was followed by 2 St. Louis old-fashioned 3-point plays on back-to-back possessions. Midway through the half, it was 27-25 St. Louis. The largest Billiken lead would be 4. Then Trey McKinney at deep ball will give the Wolverines the lead back, and it turns out they give them a lead back for good for the remainder of the half with about 9:30 to go in the first half. There were 3 ties, 7 lead changes in the opening 11 minutes and change, and then Michigan led the rest of the way. But as Wolverines started to sizzle from deep, Elliot Cadeau his third make. Yaxel Lendeborg with a make. Then they'd go back inside to push the lead to new heights.
Near sideline, Yax. Inside of 6 minutes left. Dump it down, Mara. He's been clinical today. Working against Avila. Fakes a pass in. One dribble, spins.
Oh, boy.
Yes, with a rattle. 40-31. Michigan 8 straight points.
Made it a 9-point lead with 6 minutes left. Again, it felt close to timeout range a couple of times for St. Louis, but the Billikens didn't need to call a timeout. They'd stopped the run with a 3 under 4 timeout. It was 42-34 Michigan. Then the defense really started to clamp down. Held the Billikens scoreless for over 3.5 minutes. That allowed the lead to hit double digits for the first time late in the half.
Left wing Gale. Lob it up. Alley-oop. Lendeborg crabs it down right baseline. The two great friends, Gale and Lendeborg, connect. Michigan's largest lead at 44-34.
Wolverines would tack on a couple of free throws, would up it to a dozen. It was 46-34, the largest Michigan lead in the half. St. Louis would shape into that a little bit. They'd get it back down to single digits, and then some Yax free throws in the dying seconds caps the scoring, and it is a 9-point lead for Michigan at the break, 48-39. Halftime show continues. We'll take another look at scores next. We're the only game going on the round of 32. We'll say you up for the rest of the day, and tomorrow in the Midwest region. After this, as you listen to Michigan basketball from Learfield.
For comprehensive coverage of college basketball, tune to Sirius XM College Sports Radio Channel 84 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
For the win! Got it! Let's go!
Sirius XM is the home of your favorite team and conference, including live games, plus interviews and analysis.
He's got it!
So cheer along with the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is clean and safe for the players every game at Chrysler Center. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family-made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com. Libman, the official hardwood floor care provider of the Michigan Wolverines.
Today's game is brought to you by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. This is the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Shauna, my mom, who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Michigan. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of Michigan and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Michigan.
Michigan leads St. Louis 48-39. Time now for another check of scores. The Wolverines and Billikens are in the Midwest region. There are no other Midwest region games happening today. The other 3 games are all tomorrow. The winner of our game gets either the 4-seed Alabama or the 5th-seed Texas Tech in the Sweet 16. Those two will play in Tampa. That's the last game tomorrow night. 9:45 tip at the earliest from Tampa. Bottom half of the Midwest bracket, Iowa State could go to its second-round matchup against Kentucky tomorrow afternoon, shorthanded. Joshua Jefferson, the team's second leading scorer, over 16 points a game. Top rebounder, injured his ankle yesterday. X-rays are negative. Early prognosis, a left ankle sprain. Winner there would get either Virginia or Tennessee. That is the 3 versus 6 contest at 6 o'clock tomorrow in Philly. As for the other happenings today in the other 3 regions, It all comes later on. We are the only game in progress, and we will be the only game in progress as long as we're on the air. The next game to tip off follows our game in Buffalo. Michigan State, the 3 seed in the East region, where the 6 seed Louisville awaits. It's been a decent stretch since the Cardinals have gotten beyond the first weekend of the tournament. 2015, their last Sweet 16. Tip comes about a half hour after our game ends. Next game to begin after the Spartans and Cardinals, not until 5:15, also in the East region. The top seed Duke off its scare against Siena on Thursday. Gets the 9 seed TCU, who bounced Ohio State in the late stages in the opening game on Thursday. Frogs in search of their first Sweet 16 since the late 60s. That's the East region. Elsewhere, 3 South region games. First up, 6:10 tonight in Oklahoma City. The 2 seed Houston vies for a 7th consecutive Sweet 16 appearance, going up against the 10 seed Texas A&M. Both teams won handily in their first-round matchups. Cougars a 31-point rout of Idaho. Aggies a 13-point smothering 63-50 of St. Mary's. The winner of that game will advance to Houston, host of the South region, where the opponent in the Sweet 16 would be either the 3 seed Illinois or 11th-seeded VCU. Illini and Rams tip in Greenville around 8 o'clock. Illinois had no issues in their first-round matchup, beating Penn by 35 tonight. A tougher test in VCU, who overcame a 19-point second-half deficit, trailed by 11 with 5 minutes left before storming back, beating North Carolina in overtime. And Illini coach Brett Underwood was awfully impressed by what he saw.
Well, I think the impressive thing was they never quit. It would have been very easy to, down 18 or 19 and to just lay down and roll over, and they didn't do that. Then you start looking for tendencies. It's just, you don't make too much of it. Okay, well, did Carolina do this? Has anybody else throughout their conference done that? And how have they handled this or that? So it becomes more about the tendencies more than a single game. Anything can happen in a single game. So more about tendencies, but very, very impressed with their tenacity and their ability to just keep fighting and not lay down.
One other South region game in OKC follows Houston and Texas A&M. Nebraska looks to advance to its first ever Sweet 16. Huskers face Vanderbilt in a 4-versus-5 contest. Thursday's win over Troy, historic for a Nebraska team that had famously never won a tournament game before. Obviously a reason to celebrate. Head coach Fred Hoiberg says his team recognized the enormity of that achievement, but that is not taken away from the task at hand here today.
Were they excited? Should they have been excited? Absolutely. And I told them, enjoy it. Enjoy this ride that we're going through right now. And, it's been a special team. They've developed unbelievable chemistry. And just to see the joy in their faces and to be able to share it with the crowd and share it with Kent, that was awesome when our guys went over and, all rallied around Kent. I saw him last night and he still kind of had that that look in his eye. So it's been fun. But again, our guys have gotten over it and we're ready to move on to the next one.
That Kent is Kent Pavelka in his 41st season calling Husker basketball on the radio. That leaves us with the West region, beginning at 7:10 out in Portland with Gonzaga in Texas. That's a 3 seed against an 11 seed Longhorns there by way of a first 4 win in the late stages against NC State on Tuesday, then wire-to-wire over BYU on Thursday. Final game of the night features the lowest remaining seed in the field, High Point, the 12 seed in the West, going for a second straight upset and taking on the 4 seed Arkansas. A Razorback victory would give them a second straight Sweet 16 and the 5th in the last 6 years. Again, through 20 minutes, an hour game, Michigan 48, St. Louis 39. Brian, the first half numbers next on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
Champions Circle is the leading Michigan athletics fan engagement community. We connect fans with once-in-a-lifetime experiences, produce public and private events, offer club memberships, and operate an online retail store, selling exclusive apparel, trading cards, autographs, and other memorabilia featuring Michigan student athletes. To become a member or learn more about how you can support your favorite Michigan student athletes, visit championscircleuofm.com. Champions Circle is a proud sponsor of University of Michigan Athletics.
Taxpayers.
48-39, Michigan. A strong 20 minutes. They lead it by 9 as the Wolverines and Billikens play for a spot in the Sweet 16. First half stats brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Michigan shooting an efficient 53% from the floor. They are 6 of 10 from downtown. 3 of those threes belonging to the leading scorer in the ballgame and the best player on the floor for almost the full 20 minutes. That's Michigan starting point guard Elliot Cadeau. 12 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, and a block, just 1 turnover. Cadeau has been brilliant, helping to set up the likes of Yaxel Lendeborg with 11. He's got 3 boards and an assist as well. And Adai Mara, who has done great work in the post, 10 points, 4 boards, and 3 assists. Mara now has 9 assists in 36 minutes here in Buffalo. Otherwise, Michigan with 5 players at 5 points or less, but everybody's been on the floor has at least scored 1. McKinney 5, Johnson 4, Burnett 3, Cheddar 2, Gale 1. For the Billikens of St. Louis, it is Amari McCautry leading the way with 10, 9 from Brady Dunlap. He has 3 threes in 5 attempts. The rest of St. Louis is 2 for 12 from the three-point line. Otherwise, it's Brown with 7, 5 for Otenio. And the most noteworthy score, a point total, is the A-10s player, the Arabi Avila. He has just 3 points, 1 of 6 shooting, 1 of 5 from the floor, does have 4 assists in 13 foul-plagued minutes, picked up 2 fouls in the game's first 5 minutes, and really hasn't been able to get going from there. First half stats brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Michigan, 20 minutes from a Sweet 16 berth for their 7th consecutive NCAA tournament. St. Louis looking to rally to win multiple games in the dance for the first time ever. We'll come back, second half, at you next from Buffalo. Michigan by 9, 48-39 on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Michigan, not every injury happens on the court. Car wrecks, hospital mistakes, slip and falls. When you're hurt, you need more than a quick sub off the bench. You need America's largest injury law firm. There's a reason Morgan & Morgan has over 1,000 lawyers and 100 offices nationwide. A reason we've recovered more than $30 billion for people just like you. And a reason we never charge a dime unless we win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Michigan Athletics. Injured? Just dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan. Michael Hanna, 150 West Jefferson Avenue, Detroit, 48226. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Germain Lexus of Ann Arbor. Nearly 80 years ago, our family's automotive story began right here in Michigan. Since then, shoppers have trusted the Germain name when it's time to purchase their next vehicle. Ask about our $1,000 price promise, assuring no one will sell you a vehicle for less. You'll also have more assurance with Germain's 72-hour exchange policy, and you can buy with more confidence knowing that every qualifying pre-owned vehicle comes with a warranty. At Germain, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both.
Michigan 48, St. Louis 39. Welcome back to the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York, as we welcome you back. Brought to you by Founders Brewing Company. Terry, I mentioned 3 and double figures for Michigan, but boy, everybody's contributing.
Yeah, everybody's contributing, and you'd want to talk about, since they started talking about plus and minus, Michigan doesn't have a single guy in a negative in a negative position. So they're playing solid basketball, and when they're putting players in and subbing players in, they're taking right off from where they left off. So just a solid performance top to bottom.
And St. Louis's 5 starters, the best plus-minus for them is -8. That's Amari McCautry here today. That welcome brought to you by Founders Brewing Company. It's not a Michigan game day without a Michigan-made beer. Founders Brewing Company, proud sponsor of Michigan Athletics. Welcome to Craft. Either Alabama or Texas Tech awaits the winner of this one on Friday night in Chicago, where Michigan was for the Big Ten tournament. Wolverines looking to knock off St. Louis. They lead it 48-39. Starting 5 on the floor for the white-clad Wolverines: Cadeau, Burnett, Lendeborg, Johnson, and Mara. That starting 5 for St. Louis, which has had some issues against Michigan's potent offense. They come out there for the start of the second half. Green, Jones, McCautry, Brown, and Avila. Talked about Avila's struggles, but how about Trey Green, 5th nationally at 45% from 3, has a team-high 91 triples. Scoreless, 0 of 2 from 3 in the first half.
You know, well, a lot of that had to do with what Michigan put out there on display.
Right point, Mara has it. 10 seconds into this second half. Mara spins a pass, caught by Johnson underneath the cup, banks and scores. Easy pickings against McCautry. Michigan, a great set. Out of halftime, 50-39, maize and blue.
Well, I think Coach Donaldson talked about it. Michigan wants to play inside out. I love that game plan.
Quentin Jones at the March Madness emblem at the center. Jump to Avila. Skip it. Here's an easy reverse layup for McCautry that was fortunate to hop in there. It was a bad shot, but he still made it. 50-41 Michigan. Wolverines with it. Feed the post. Johnson catches with some McCautry pestering. Johnson looks around. Jumping pass. Caught by Cadeau. Extra feed. Left corner. Burnett sights a 3. In and out. Rebound down to St. Louis. It's Deion Brown to secure it for the Billikens.
I tell you, McCautry is about as slippery as they come. I mean, he just finds a way to score. And If you're Michigan, you've got to worry about those backdoor cuts because that's the way they were scoring.
He's got a team-high 12. Avila right point with 12 on the timer. Passes inside, deflected, intercepted. Mara chucks it up, two-handed Lendeborg. Works it on Avila. Jumping past left wing. Here's Johnson. He tries three. It's off the heel. One-hop rebound. McCautry snatches it away from a charging Cadeau. Flips it up ahead quickly. Trey Green shoots right. Left wing three. Got it. Had a little jab step on Cadeau, and Slews within 6, 50-44, 18:32 left. The Billikens won't go away. An elite team, an elite offense.
Yeah, well, as long as they got that three ball in the game, it's going to be tough.
Cadeau over to Burnett, left wing three. Got it on a swish. Michigan's 7-3. Namari Burnett, silky smooth, 53-44 Michigan, 18:10 to play. Right point, Avila, just 3 points in his 137th career game. Leave it left wing, Brown. Around an Avila hedge and a modest one. Brown drives in on Lendeborg, a chase down block for Yaks. Spiked it off the glass, deflects to Johnson for Michigan.
Hey, that's why he's mentioned as Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, being able to use that length, make up.
And a semifinalist for the national DPOY. Cadeau, right wing Johnson. Michigan by 9. Mara, low block right, catches, pivots, hooks and scores over Avila. 5-footer, easy for Mara. Give him a dozen. It's 55-44 Michigan. One shy of Michigan's largest lead. St. Louis's last advantage was 27-25. Jones behind the back bounce. Avila straight on three over Mara's a swish. Avila was overdue. His second field goal make. Both have been from deep. 55-47. Billikens cut it to 8. Almost 3 minutes in, second half. Michigan's number 3. The best player on the floor so far, Cadeau. Gives it to maybe the only other one with an argument, Mara. Backs down Avila. Spins on him. Behind the basket. Flips it up. Missed it off the heel. Rebound loose. Secured by McCautry. Plucks it away from Johnson. St. Louis's basketball down 8. McCautry zigzags his way into the forecourt. Shovel Avila, another 3, same spot, much different result. And the rebound trickles its way, saved far sideline by Green as he's able to beat Burnett on a sprint. Right side Jones, 3 over, Cadeau is good. Jones knocks down the triple, his 34th of the year. First points today, Slew within 5, 55-50, 16-26 remaining for a spot in the Sweet 16. Cadeau blows by Jones, feed it back right side, Johnson fakes it pass right, takes it strong, and on Avila, banks and scores. Avila's got to be careful with 2 fouls. Rez with a nifty take for 2, 57-50 Michigan. Billikens, they sprint down, now slow things down with Green. Hedge around Avila. Peels it back out right side, Jones has it to the left wing, McCautry. Paces the Bills with 12. Shovel it Green, center circle with 9 on the timer. Green darts his way into the paint. Kicker right side, Avila, rain-making 3, another swish. Billikens are 4 of 5 from deep to start the second half. Down to a 4-point Michigan lead, 57-53, 15:42 left.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's what they do. But I'll tell you what, Michigan is answering.
Johnson, low block right, double team comes, feed it, Mara, easy dunk, two-handed, straight up the shoot. How'd they forget the 7'3" Mara? 59-53 Michigan. 15:26 to play. Avila from where he hit a 3 earlier. Over to the right side, Green. Fakes a pass in. Jets his way right point. Back right wing. 3 over Lendeborg. Up. Short. Rebound. Weak side Johnson. Good box out of Brown. Up ahead. Here's Lendeborg. Clean runway. Right hand hammer. What a dime from EC. 61-53 Michigan. 15:05 to play. Avila looks around left wing. After Cadeau's 5th assist, Lendeborg up to a baker's dozen. McCautry, shovel it Jones, inside Brown, in amongst a double team, vacates on a dribble left wing. Here's Jones at the point, drives in on Johnson, flutters it up there, got it. Tough move from Quentin Jones, the junior who in his first 2 seasons played at Cal Poly in Northern Illinois and only won 10 total games. He and St. Louis looking for their 30th today.
Yeah, this is high-level scoring here, I'll tell you that.
Michigan by 6. Cadeau feed straight on Johnson, 3 ball. Off to the right. Rebound down to Green. As Avila, a little tug on Mara, but play on. 14:20 to play. 61-55 Michigan. Still do the under 16 and a reach-in tug foul on Elliott Cadeau. Terry Mills disagrees as Deion Brown spills to the deck. Cadeau with his second timeout on the floor. It'll be an inbound for St. Louis when we come back. 16-13 start for St. Louis in the half, but Michigan maintains a 61-55 lead with 14-17 to play right here on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
Touchdown!
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go! Run, James! No. First base! Go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Michigan basketball plays here.
Off the heel, rebound Jones, and that's the ball game! And this magical Michigan season is not done by any means!
The Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
There is nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your team. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Proud sponsor of the Alumni Association of the University of Michigan. Sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Bakery owners, you will be loved today. Every pastry will be flaky. Your cake will make a child's day. Your delivery van won't get sideswiped by a distracted garbage truck driver. But if so, breathe easy, knowing you'll get back to business quickly with Progressive protecting your commercial auto. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The prize, a berth in the Sweet 16. Top-seeded Michigan in front of 9th-seeded St. Louis, 61-55. With the national champion Terry Mills, our engineer Tony Butler, our host Rob Joyce, I'm Brian Bush. Nothing says home like Aunt Millie's. Whether it's pregame breakfast, tailgate sliders, or postgame comfort food, Aunt Millie's is baking memories from their family to yours. You can pick up all your Aunt Millie's favorites at your local Meijer. Aunt Millie's closer to home. Well, Terry, in the first half, St. Louis started 4 of 4 from the floor. Michigan slowed them down, 11 for 29, and around 40% from then on out. Here, St. Louis starts the second half 6 of 9 and 4 of 6 from 3. What adjustments do you hope Michigan makes defensively?
We're getting back to taking away a little airspace, if you will. I think Michigan is right now, they're getting what they want from an offensive standpoint. And so that they sometimes seem to get a little reluctant and say, well, we'll give you what you want, you've given us what you want, but here's the thing, they're getting 3s and we're getting 2s, so we got to be able to lock down. That's going to be the difference in this game.
Avila inbounds to Deion Brown. St. Louis with the basketball. 14-14 remaining. 61-55 U of M. High to the left side, McCautry, St. Louis's leading scorer with 12. Angles left elbow, guarded by Roddy Gale Jr. off the bench to Avila. Leans in. Banks missed it strong. Great contest from Lendeborg. Rebound down to Johnson with no Billiken around him. Man, what a defensive recovery from Yaxel Lendeborg. Left side, Gale. Dump it down, Morrow. One-on-one against Avila. Fakes a pass in. Now Johnson goes with a couple of hard dribbles. Now 4. Pivots underneath. Lanes, Banks, and a walk. Turnover. Johnson perplexed by the call. It's Michigan's 5th cough up. Dusty May irate at Jeffrey Anderson.
Yeah, I thought there was a little tugging going on there also.
Dusty May just shrugs his shoulders. Dusty May, I mean, that's as hot as we've seen him. And his good friend Josh Schertz, who they exchanged practice film during the summer. They talk close to weekly. He's not looking over there. Quentin Jones slithers left lane line, pauses left block, skip it Brown, up fake, Johnson doesn't go after it. Free throw line, terminates the dribble, head of the key, long 2, up and strong, rebound McKinney. One of the rare other 2s, not a dunk, not a layup, but inside of the three-point line, Michigan cleans up the rebound. Left wing McKinney, he'll spot up for 3, and knock it down! Trey McKinney with 8, his second trifecta, 64-55, 13-13 left. How about Michigan's Mr. Basketball?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, Michigan able to get something going from an offensive standpoint, so you got to figure you get stops. It's golden right now.
The dangerous Brady Dunlap 3 threes in the first half. He's looking with Avila. Avila has it, dribble done, skip pass right baseline, caught by Jones, considers a drive on Gale, spins right baseline, underneath, tough floater, Plink goes down. Late in the shot clock, 64-57, SLU pulls it to within 7 with 12:41 remaining.
I know Michigan's game plan is to do a lot of switching, which it doesn't bother me at all.
McKenney blows by Dunlap. Shot fake low on the left. Back to Johnson, handoff Cadeau. Sight the long three. It's way off. Rebound. Back tap to Gale. Michigan's second chance. Right corner, Lendeboer. Dump it down. It's Johnson. One-on-one against fellow 21 Avila. Floating pass. Too tall for Gale to secure, and it finds its way to Dunlap, Michigan, with turnover number 6.
Yeah, when those switches got to take place, it's got to be some type of collision that has to happen.
Avila right wing, pestered by Johnson, drives in, floater, well short, good defense. Johnson, and he's able to deflect the rebound to himself. Here comes the Wolverines right to left. Up by 7, Lendeboer. Over Quinn Jones! The Dominican LeBron with the tomahawk hammer! Michigan up 66-57. Here's a drive, a fling, and a miss, but a foul. Deion Brown the other way.
Man, that was flat out nasty there.
Yaxel Lendeboer providing a charge here early in the second half, posterizing Quentin Jones to make it 66-57. Timeout on the floor for all of us to admire Yax's jam and the emotional fist pump after. We'll pause for a break. This is Michigan basketball from Learfield.
Look, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but if you're a Wolverine fan like me and you haven't switched your phone service to Michigan Mobile, you're passing up a slam dunk. Here's the deal. You get exclusive VIP perks, and Michigan Mobile contributes to Michigan athletics with every payment you make. No contracts, no hidden fees, no reason to put it off another minute. Switch now to the only phone plan built for Wolverine Nation and on the T-Mobile network. Visit MichiganMobile.com. That's MichiganMobile.com.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Experiencing a Wolverines game is a lot like life. We honor traditions. We shed tears for a loss, but also for a win. And every time we step on the court, it's a chance for greatness. Farm Bureau Insurance sees the connection and is a proud supporter of University of Michigan athletics. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
When facts are questioned, when trust falters, when the role of higher education is on trial, look to the University of Michigan to turn a public investment into the public good. From strengthening democracy through dialogue to advancing breakthrough cancer treatments, Michigan delivers the solutions the world needs most. For answers, for action, for all of us, look to Michigan. See more solutions at umich.edu/look. Michigan a 66-57 lead, 11:44 remaining for a spot in the Sweet 16 in either Alabama or Texas Tech Friday night in Chicago. Brian, Tara, Tony, and Rob, glad you're with us, whether it's on one of our outstanding radio affiliates or on the Varsity Network app. Westwood One and the Varsity Network bring you every moment of March all the way to Indianapolis. For the hometown call you love, the only place to stream your team's broadcast all postseason is the Varsity Network app. Download the free Varsity Network app today. We'll be locked in on that all drive home after this one. And, well, Terry, Michigan playing a team that plays the game so similarly, and they've been able to maintain their distance. St. Louis not going away, but Michigan has led ever since it was 27-25.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, no matter what happens offensively on this end for Michigan, when you make it, you better get back in a hurry because, I mean, you don't see any player dejected by St. Louis. They're just kind of with that next play mentality. They're ready to go.
Deion Brown, a 75%er at the line, short on the first. Yeah. So one more for Deion Brown, who has 7 points, 3 boards, and 2 assists.
Yeah, we're not quite sure if Deion Brown was in on that Yaxel throwdown, and maybe he's trying to recover from that because
well, he might get some peripheral NIL with the poster that will go up for that. Makes the second, and he subs out. Kellen Thames on the floor with Sharma, Otieno, Dunlap, and McCautry for St. Louis, clad in blue. Michigan brings Will Cheddar in for the first time this half with Gale, Mara, Lendeborg, and McKinney. Gale, Pestered right wing. In between the circles, Lendeborg. Back to Gale. Lob it up. Mara catches with his right sneaker on the three-point line. Over to left corner, Cheddar. Extra feed left wing, McKinney. How about a bonus one, Yak? Straight on three. Oh, yeah! Unselfish basketball right there. 69-58 with 11-11. Make a wish for a Sweet 16 berth here in Buffalo.
Man, was the ball popping that series.
All that Dusty May and Josh Schertz wants. The two good friend head coaches. Right side, Sharma. All over him is McKinney defensively. To McCautry. Chuck it up, Sharma. Right wing, guarded by Mara with 7 on the shot clock. Sharma shoots a 3 over Mara. Airborne off to the left. Rebound reeled in by Lendeborg. Head up, lob it up. Here's Gale, center line. Stutter steps and drives. Leans in, floats it up, blocked, but a foul. Roddy Gale Jr. He's had a pesky, a man-size, a peripheral game, and he's going to the free throw line to a chance to add to his 1 point today.
I'll tell you what, he's able to put pressure on the rim when he catches it in the open court. And right now, Michigan is having fun because they're able to get stops, rebound, and get out and run.
Gale at the free throw line, where he shoots it at 77.5%. Tickles the twine on that one, 70-58. Michigan in front, 10:44 to play. This matching Michigan's largest lead. Gale, 2 points now, but he's got 6 boards. Most for him since 7 against Minnesota in late February. Second one, a copy-paste. No rim, but all net. 71-58 Wolverines. Gale leaves. Namari Burnett in for Michigan. Nope, they're going to say, they're going to have Will Cheddar come out. Gale stays in. So it is McKinney, Burnett, Gale, Lendeborg, and Mara. A bit of a lengthy respite for Elliot Cadeau after EC played all but only a few seconds of the first half. Some press from Michigan. They did this in the second half against Howard thanks to Coach Kaysen. LJ brought it, and Burnett steals it away. He drives in, one-on-one against McCautry, laid it up and in. 15 the lead for Michigan. Press back on for the Maize and Blue. Timeout, Josh Schertz and St. Louis. And LJ Kaysen holds up the sign. Coach Kaysen making an impact here in the second half once again.
I'll tell you what, they gave LJ Kaysen every reason in the world to jump up off of that bench.
Except for that he has to have surgery in a few weeks.
Well, I tell you what, I thought I'd seen some air in between his sneakers when Yaks brought the house down and put the women and kids to bed.
At 1 o'clock, 73-58 Michigan, 10:30 to play. Wolverines trying to pull away here on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Michigan fans, this is Trey McKinney of Michigan Basketball. Spring is just around the corner. Is your outdoor living area ready for a championship performance this season? As the official decking and railing partner of Michigan Athletics, TimberTech is here to help upgrade your space. It looks like real wood, but won't rot, warp, or splinter, and comes with industry-leading warranties. Order free samples at TimberTech.com. That's TimberTech.com. Go Blue.
The excitement, the passion, the tradition.
Walker turns, forces, misses. Michigan has won the national title!
This is Michigan basketball from Learfield.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Michigan's largest lead is its current lead. 73-58 U of M, 10.5 to play. Winner heads to Chicago in the Sweet 16. Michigan's postseason journey presented by Meijer. Find more in the Meijer app. Plan, shop, save, and get deals made just for you. Plus, enjoy an even more personalized shopping experience with M-Perks. Download the Meijer app or visit Meijer.com/M-Perks. Terry, Yaxel Lendeborg up to 18 points. He has been engaged and aggressive from the start.
Yes, he has. And you know what? We haven't seen Yax disengaged in a long time. And he has that switch to be able to turn it on. And right now, he's playing at an elite level right now.
And L.J. Kaysen's press decision, the coach over there for Michigan, as he awaits his ACL surgery next month. He and the staff call for the press. Michigan unable to come up with a turnover here, but SLU gets it past the timeline, only a couple of seconds to spare. And now Robbie Avila, the A-10's player of the year, has it center circle. Shot clock already to 10. Michigan up 73-58. Bounce pass Sharma. Has it right point with 6. Lob it up. Caught on the leap by Otieno with 4. Right side Sharma pumps up a 3 right point and swishes it down. 5 of 8 are the Billikens in the second half, trying to hang around. 73-61. Inside of 10 minutes to play. Michigan's lead cut to a dozen.
Yeah, well, what Michigan is doing right now is they're trying to get them late in the shot clock by applying some pressure.
Lendeborg, the leading scorer in the game with 18. Drives in on Otieno, leans in, had it blocked away in a late but correct whistle called, much to the chagrin of the Billikens and the Michigan State Spartans fans in attendance. 2 free throws coming up for Yaxel Lendeborg as the green and white starts to file in before the Spartans take on Louisville after our game.
Hey, you mean to tell me the green and white is not cheering for the Wolverines?
No Big Ten pride today. It's a real shame, I'll tell you. Otieno, the foul, his second. 73-61 Michigan, 9:40 remaining. And Yaxel Lendeborg has a chance to get to 20 points on the game.
Yeah, I thought we were all in this together except when we play each other, but...
No, you didn't.
Of course I didn't.
Lendeborg at the stripe. 2 dribbles, a knee bend, shoots it up, and gets a friendly roll. 74-61 Michigan. Kellen Thames in. Paul Otieno out. That's for a St. Louis team that has a program record, 29 wins, claimed the Atlantic 10 regular season title, lost a thriller to Dayton in the semis of that tournament. Second one rattles home, 75-61. Michigan bumps the lead to 14. Lendeborg out. And how about the respite for Elliot Cadeau, who played all but a few seconds in the first half. Cadeau here in half number 2 has been able to sit for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, had the opportunity to recharge his battery over there, and hopefully he comes out with that same aggression and that same fire.
9.5 to play. 75-61 Michigan. McCottry lob it up, caught by Thames, went for the alley-oop. Nobody got bumped and fouled by Burnett. And probably the foul forces SLU to earn it at the line. They'll actually whistle it before that contact from Burnett on McKinney. So Trey with his first, and the Wolverines' third of the half. Pretty impressive pass with St. Louis having the size disadvantage to get that up there and have Thames with a real opportunity to dunk it down.
Yeah, well, I like the foul by Trey McKinney. I mean, they had Mara out of there in that high screen roll.
Thames, a 65%er at the line, misses the first off to the left. Now, Thames, he can get after it. He broke a shot clock in a game at Loyola Marymount during non-conference. Broke a shot clock. And that was not one of the 2 dunks he's had on SportsCenter top 10 this year.
Oh, I wasn't sure what you were talking about breaking a shot clock, or whether it was about a free throw or that dunk.
Second one rattles out. That one starts the shot clock after an 0 for 2 trip. Michigan still up 14. Morez Johnson Jr. back into the ball game for Michigan as he spells Gale. So it is Cadeau, Burnett, Mara, Johnson, and McKinney. Mara, feed the post, Johnson backs down against McCottry. Couple of strong left-handed dribbles into a double, flings it up anyways. No, but he got fouled. And Rez heads to the charity stripe for a couple with Michigan leading 75-61, 9:04 to play. Michigan huddling up. Jeffrey Anderson given the sign with the whistle blown to hurry things up. So Rez at the line, trying to add to his 8-point effort so far. Has 7 boards, and he is 2 of 2 at the line. It was interesting talking with Michigan assistant Akeem Miskine after the Big Ten tournament. Remember, Rez, he only had 12 points and 9 rebounds combined in the semifinal win over Wisconsin and then the championship game loss to Purdue. Some of the lowest two-game stretches of his season. Rez makes the first, and the Wolverines are up by 15, 76-61. And Akeem said that he thought that the whole season took a toll on his body during the Big Ten tournament. But here in the NCAA tournament, seems like Rez has a second lease on what has made him so effective all season long. Hoists that second free throw, books it 77-61. Rez, like his entire front court, great today.
Yeah, well, Rez was hard on himself, after that tournament, so the coaching staff didn't have to get on him.
McContry, left wing to Avila. 9 points, but 11 field goal attempts to get there. Spot up three, right point, in and out, hit the rim twice. Popcorn's out of there. Burnett, the left baseline rebound for Michigan. And now after so much tempo, Michigan up 16, clock being the friend and the enemy of the Billikens. They'll slow it down a little bit. Left wing Mara, lob up to Johnson! Right baseline, stuffs it down with two hands! Slow tempo be darned! Highlight, hello, 79-61, Michigan! Then Thames goes the other direction, right baseline, one-armed hammer. Oh my goodness, Thames comes down. Michigan by 16, right corner Burnett, he'll try a three. In and out, back tap by McKinney, and a foul on the floor on St. Louis.
Yeah, McKinney trying to back tap in between two Billikens there.
Michigan getting into the highlights. Wow, and that Thames rebuttal was pretty impressive too. Dunlap the foul, it's his first, St. Louis's fourth of the second half.
Yeah, that was impressive, but that's why I say you can't celebrate your dunk on one end because they've got a short-term memory. They're ready to go.
Well, you see the similarities. Both teams didn't let 2 points affect them. Mara, lob up, caught by Johnson into a triple team. Flicks it out to the right corner, Lendeborg. Michigan slows it down. Timer at 10. Johnson backs down against Sharma. Might have gotten away with a walk. Shimmy's right baseline. Underneath the cup, reverses. No. Might have been blocked by Avila. Deflects its way to Brown. Here come the Billikens. Michigan by 16. 7:54 left. Stop it to the next whistle. Left wing Avila. 3 over Mara. Airborne and short. Rebound Lendeborg. Avila's 3 of 10 from the three-point line today. Cadeau, 12 points and 5 assists.
You can see Dusty just pretty much playing chess right now, being able to call off the plays he want when he wanted.
Cadeau bounces it in. Johnson reverses and lays it in. Right block, right-handed. It's 81-63 Michigan. 7:25 to play. Avila at the point. Skips a pass inside Brown. Had it poked away. Stolen by Cadeau. Fighting. And then a jump ball called. Possession arrow keeps it with St. Louis. But Michigan's momentum arrow going way, way up. 7-17. Separating the maize and blue from a Sweet 16 for a 7th straight NCAA tournament appearance. It's 81-63 Wolverines leading St. Louis on the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
When you have a gambling problem, you have a money problem.
10 gallons of gas, cash or credit?
Yesterday's lottery ticket won't fill up your tank. Because when you're feeding a gambling problem...
Okay, your grocery total is $98.
It's difficult putting food on the table, paying your bills, and keeping your life together. If you or a loved one is struggling with gambling, get free confidential help at michigan.gov/problemgambling. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Michigan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Michigan Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Shoot, score, and
win a share of $106,000 in cash and premium play at Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Fridays and Saturdays in March from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m., 2 guests are drawn each hour to compete in a head-to-head shootout. Then at 11 p.m., 1 lucky guest will receive $4,500 in cash and prizes. Only at Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saguenay-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
Michigan trying to pull away from St. Louis and lock down a spot in the Sweet 16. Wolverines 81, Billinikens 63. Take your support of Michigan athletics to the next level simply by paying your phone bill. Switch to Michigan Mobile with nationwide 5G coverage. Visit MichiganMobile.com. We'll pause 10 seconds. Station identification time. This is Michigan basketball from Learfield. Here in Buffalo, New York, Brian Bush, Terry Mills, Tony Butler, and Rob Joyce with you. Michigan trying to become the first team to lock down that spot in the NCAA tournament second weekend. Winner of this one faces the winner of the late night game tomorrow, Texas Tech and Alabama. Michigan trying to pull away these Billikens. How do they do it here in this next little 3-4 minute war?
Well, I mean, you got to continue to play connected basketball. I told you on those switches, you got to be able to have collisions on those switches, and they're doing a good job at rebounding the basketball, having them with the one and done.
Left side, Brown takes it left baseline, shut off by a double team of Burnett and Shetter. Two of the guys who stayed. Right side, Sharma pumps up a three. Off the front iron, rebound, Burnett. St. Louis now 10 of 28 from three. Lendeborg with an even 20, leading everybody. Has it left wing for Michigan. 6:51 ticking second half timer. 81-63 Michigan. Right side, Burnett. Up fake, takes it right baseline, leans in on Jones. Had it blocked. Burnett fighting for the rebound. Jumping past Johnson. Michigan resets with a timer at 8. Cadeau pestered out there at the center circle. Jumping past right side. Burnett for a three. Oh yeah! Blackjack 21! Michigan up 84-63. Cold, cool, and collected late in the shot clock. Brown other end, flings it up there, no, but he split two and got fouled by either Cadeau or Johnson. And it's Rez picking up the foul. It is his third. But Michigan, they had some turbulent foul issues in the first half. They've been able to wade the tide most of the day.
Yeah, just the calmness about Michigan. That shot got blocked inside. You got it back to your guy that has a built-in timer in his head, and that's Elliot Cadeau. He didn't panic, and neither did the Wolverines.
Brown's first free throw in and out. SLU is shooting 5 for 12 from the line. Michigan's left some free throws out there, 14 of 20, but St. Louis just has not had the shooting success they had on Thursday against Georgia. Brown's second good, 84-64, Michigan up 26-23 remaining. Cadeau past the timeline. 1 of 5 in double figures for Michigan. Lendeborg, the leader with 20, has it high left block, banging against Brown. Spins on him left lane line, takes it into the paint. Jump stop, floats, scores, easy, and a little point down from Yaks. 86-64, Michigan 6 minutes from the Sweet 16.
Yeah, how about Michigan being able to change their game up and say, hey, we're going to play from inside out. And now you're starting to see Yaks do some damage down there on the block.
Left side, Green, 25-foot heave, high off the heel, rebound to Will Cheddar in Michigan. Lob up ahead, Lendeborg. These greedy Wolverines, they're still pushing the tempo. Plus 22 with 5:37 remaining.
Yeah, we're going back to the well. I mean, this is not going to be no secret here. We're going to play through the post.
High block left, Johnson, skip pass to Flex, but gets to Lendeborg. Shot fakes, over to the right wing, up fake Cadeau. Sharma stays on him. Timer to 7. Cadeau, flip back, Lendeborg. Line drive 3. Bullseye! Make it 25 at 89-64, 5:13 left. Right corner, Brown takes it in on Cheddar, underneath the cup. Flings, no, but he got fouled. Will Cheddar tried to keep his arms up like he was riding a roller coaster. To no avail, free throws for St. Louis. 89-64. We thought there was a chance this could be a sprint to 100. Well, Michigan is on pace. St. Louis hasn't been able to keep up.
I'll tell you what, you want to talk about a solid coach, whether
first free throw from Brown is good.
Yeah, Yaks was able to hit that shot. Dusty really didn't care about he made the shot. He was all over Yaks about something he didn't do defensively. So just Dusty at his best, still coaching.
Yeah, Yak's 25 points now, 9 of 12 shooting, 5 boards, and assist in 29 minutes. 89-65, Michigan, 5:06 left. Both free throws pure from Dion Brown. Michigan sends Burnett and Cheddar to the bench. It's McKinney and Gale out there with Cadeau, Johnson, and Lendeborg now. Cadeau, right wing in front of the Michigan bench. Skip it inside. Johnson went up for a big-time jam, and Trey Green was able to poke it away. It's a foul on St. Louis's Trey Green, the Xavier transfer, or that would have been another Michigan massive jam.
Yeah, but you want to talk about a card dealer. You couldn't slip a piece of paper down that pass there to Ellie Cadeau through there.
Michigan has 3 dunks in this ball game. They've been oh so close on a few others. Michigan by 23, 4:55 away from a Sweet 16 appearance. Johnson's first is good. Rez up to 15. He's second on the ball club. Green out, and Brady Dunlap, who, boy, he had a great first half. 3 for 5 from 3, but he hasn't scored in the second half. St. Louis getting outscored 42-27 since intermission. One more for Rez. Deep knee bend, the righty shoots, front iron and out. Jones boards the flat free throw miss from Rez. 90-66, Michigan, 4:49 to carry. Sharma to the right wing, Brown. Drives in on Gale, takes it right baseline. Underneath the cup, drag the pivot foot, play on, and it's a lay-in for Dion Brown, the Boston College transfer. Michigan now with 4:34 left. Cadeau will slowly wait to pick up the basketball as Gale just literally almost dropped it on the floor. It was not moving. Michigan bled about 7 seconds off the clock. Skip pass left corner. Gale tries a 3. Rattles out. No. Rebound loose. Picked up Sharma. Here come the Billikens. Down 22 to Michigan. 90-68. 4:15 left. A last gasp attempt from the Bills. Left wing Quentin Jones around an Avila screen. Steps back. Through the legs dribble. Terminates it, gives to Avila, who has just 9 points, 3 of 13 from the floor. Pass inside Jones, left corner 3, well short from Dion Brown. Rebound, Michigan, Lendeborg.
Yeah, well, just stay locked in on the defensive end. Right now, I expect Dusty to call his play and run it. Coaches like to call this the best play in America.
3:42 left. Michigan by 22. Looking for the dagger. Cadeau darts a pass right corner. McKinney extra feed. Lendeborg for 3. It's off to the left. Rebound loose. Picked up by Johnson in amongst 3 Billikens. And the Wolverines throw it back out with a reset 20 starting to bleed. Alley-oop up toward Gale. Deflected and intercepted by Jones. That was a greedy one there, looking for the true punctuation. Sharma, left wing, spots up 3. Thuds off the back of the iron. Rebound Cadeau with 3:15 left, and Michigan leading 90-68.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary at all. I mean, we played a solid basketball game. Let's finish it the right way.
The Maize and Blue faithful stand up and cheer with Michigan by 22. 3 minutes till the Sweet 16. Right wing McKinney, jab step right, drifts left point, had it poked away, stolen. It was deflected by Brown up to Sharma, one-on-one against Cadeau, leans in, Banker got it to go. 90-70, 2:48 remaining, and Michigan will, like they've been doing, slowly bleed some clock as Gale simply just bounds it right in front of the baseline. Cadeau picks it up as a charging defensive effort from Jones slows things down. Gale far sideline, 2:34 remaining. Michigan plus 20. They've led since the midpoint of the first half, and Dunlap fouls Gale 40 feet out to bring us to the final media timeout. Michigan, 2.5 minutes from its 7th consecutive Sweet 16 appearance when qualifying for the dance. 90-70. Back for the finish from Buffalo next. This is Michigan basketball from Learfield.
Honey, did you pay the rent this month? Because I just received a late notice.
Sorry, what's that?
Wait, are you gambling online again?
Me? No, not at all.
If managing the bills and your betting has become a challenge, self-excluding from online gambling or sports betting might be for you. Learn more at don'tregretthebet.org. A message from the Michigan Gaming Control Board. Have a gambling problem? Call the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wolverines, Billikens.
McKinney shot fake, takes left baseline. He floats. He got it! Over the front of the rim! Barreling into Hoiberg!
This is Wolverine basketball from Learfield.
Neighbors help neighbors. That's why when the unexpected happens, floods, fires, or tornadoes hit, Belfour has your back. At Belfour, we are the people who live next door. Faces and names you know, right here in Michigan. For us, the only thing more important than restoring your property is helping you rebuild your life whenever disasters strike. 24/7, 365. Belfour Property Restoration. Your home, your life, our promise. Call 800-800-BELFOR or visit belfour.com.
Wolverines fans, it's time to join the University of Michigan Credit Union, the leaders and best in local banking. We are here to help you stay on top of your game with competitive loan rates and championship service to meet all your financial needs. Access your account with our conveniently located branches and ATMs, 24/7 online banking, and our mobile app. To learn more about our services or find a branch near you, visit umcu.org. UMCU is a proud partner of Michigan Athletics. The University of Michigan Credit Union is federally insured by NCAA.
Michigan putting the finishing touches on a berth in the Sweet 16, 90-70, the Maize and Blue, the top seed in the Midwest region, leading 9th-seeded St. Louis. And with 2:30 to play, we're keeping it here for the rest of this one. This last call is presented by Founders Brewing Company, a proud sponsor of Michigan Athletics. It's not a Michigan game day without a Michigan-made beer. Founders Brewing Company, welcome to craft. Well, Terry, Dusty May said that these two teams try to get to the same thing, but differently because of personnel. And I certainly think personnel and execution, the two differences today.
Yeah, Michigan with only 8 turnovers. It should be 6 because they've turned it over twice when they shouldn't have turned it over. But you want to talk about value in the basketball. Michigan has been very, very efficient with the basketball. And I love the fact that they stayed together. They didn't allow or get rattled that the Billinikens was running off 3-point shots. You know, you didn't see that dejected look on Michigan's face.
Wolverines have the basketball, 2:30 to play, 20 on the timer. Cadeau into the forecourt for the white-clad Wolverines. Looking to hold serve. Here is the 1 seed in the first weekend. Gale takes it in, floats. No, but a follow jam. Michigan's 4th thundering dunk. Amara put back after the Gale miss. 92-70 Michigan.
Yeah, I think Roddy better get out the way before he get himself put in the basket.
And a whistle and a timeout as I think St. Louis is going to wave the white flag here. A few substitutions, and this might be the end of the line for Robbie Avila, one of the most fascinating characters in college basketball recently. Josh Schertz, his head coach at Indiana State and here at St. Louis, said that he changed the trajectory of 2 programs, and the man they call Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Nerd, Steph Blurry, Baby Jokic, Milk Chamberlain finishes his career with a tough night against Michigan. 9 points. He'll fall just shy of 2,000 for his career. 1990 on the Michigan side. Big rounds of applause for Adai Mara and Yaxel Lendeborg as Michigan takes out 2 of their stars and their 2 leading scorers today. Green straight on 3 over Cheddar, a rainmaker, and it deadens the left side of the iron. Rebound McKinney.
Yeah, just mutual respect by 2 coaches to be able to say, hey, if you're going to pull back and relent a little bit, I'll do the same.
Cadeau in between the rings for Michigan, up 92-70, 100 seconds to play. Cadeau over to the right side, McKinney. Now Cheddar in between the rings. Back to Trey, shot clock at 6. Trey into the paint, had his pocket pick, stolen away by Thames. Here come the Billikens left to right. Thames takes a strong banker. No, good contest by Cheddar and Kale, and it deflects to McKinney. How about Michigan still playing hard with 80 seconds left, up by 22?
Yeah, Namari went and got that one off the square. I mean.
Gale past the timeline. What an experience for Roddy. They're calling him Marty. March Roddy, going to go 2-0 here near his hometown. The pride of Niagara Falls, left wing Cheddar, up fake, takes it down Otieno, lob it back out right side Gale. 6 on the timer. Gale takes it, steps back, right wing 3. It's nowhere close, rebound Thames. Oh, that'd have been awesome for Roddy here in his native land, Western New York. McCautry the other end, high banker crawls home, and a whistle, a timeout, Dusty May and Michigan just to let Oscar Goodman come in. Here comes Malik Cordell. Wolverines going deep in the bench here with 48.2 left in a 92-72 lead. Charlie May, Howard Isley Jr., they're getting a second NCAA tournament appearance as well.
Yeah, why not? Well deserved.
What a performance from Michigan. It was uneven for the first 20 minutes on Thursday, but Michigan overwhelmed Howard in the second half on Thursday night, and then they just kept their distance on a St. Louis team that does so many things similarly to Michigan. But the Wolverines up by 20. Final likely offensive possession for Michigan here. McKinney past the timeline. Gets a screen from Goodman to the free throw line. Shot fake, clears out, had it poked away, got it back. Back out Charlie May, left wing with 12 on the timer. Right side Goodman, 11. Lob up Cordell, hand off Goodman. Shot fake, takes it strong. Here he comes for a layup. Yes! Count it to foul! Oscar Goodman, key part of the scout team, soars in, has an and one. 94-72 Michigan, 25.4 left.
And I like the fact that with this group, the offense did not change. That gives me all the confidence in the world that you can play some of these guys if need be.
Free throw Goodman, rattles around, drops home, 95-72 Michigan, 25.4 left. McCottry into the forecourt for the final dance for the Billikens as part of a program record 29-win season. Otieno feed it in. Here goes a potential jam. McCottry got swatted by Goodman. Michigan comes down with it, and the Wolverines run out the clock. Whatever you can do, Michigan can do better. Dusty May wins the chess match with his good friend Josh Schertz in St. Louis. The Wolverines to the Sweet 16 for their 7th straight dance. 95-72. The Wolverines overwhelm the Billikens in the second half, and they take care of business as the 1 seed in the first weekend in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's not easy getting out that first weekend, but Michigan has punched their ticket. First ones to punch their ticket, so time to get headed back to Chicago. But Brian, I don't know about you, but I still got my key. The key for the hotel. So
mine doesn't work. I don't know if I still have it. But I'll tell you this, Michigan, their keys here in Buffalo don't work. They'll go back tonight, and they'll get to watch the other 15 round of 32 games, already knowing they've got a spot in the Sweet 16 secured as the 1 seed. Michigan, they have been first weekend warriors in the NCAA tournament. 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 25, and now 26. St. Louis's players, their head coach Josh Schertz goes over and acknowledges a really good fan base. Man, the Billikens fans were awesome here in Buffalo.
Yes, they were. And I tell you what, on that last play, McCottry got hurt on that play. What kind of player was he today? I hope he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he was really, really good for Michigan here today as we bring you Dusty May's post-game interview. It's presented by Meyer. Coach, what was the key defensively to really slow down St. Louis outside of a little burst in the beginning of each half?
Yeah, they're one of the best offensive teams we've scouted since we've been here. I think that our guys' ability to pressure the ball and make them a half second late on their reads, I think was a big part of it. And then we played off of each other really well. When there's a shooter, slasher, they play so many guys, it's hard to keep track of the cutters versus the shooters versus the drivers. I thought overall we batted about 90% of having great personnel awareness.
Yeah, you mirror images of each other, Coach, and I don't know whether you play video games or not, but it was fun to watch you here execute, call out plays, and they were happening. It was like watching you play 2K if you play 2K.
Well, we're just happy to play when you're not arm wrestling,
right?
Leg wrestling,
playing fast.
Playing fast. A little bit of freedom of movement, but yeah, our guys compete at a high level.
So that's on the back of your bubble. That's hard to do. Yeah, we've got a great staff, and it's all about the players. And I'm blessed to be the head coach at Louisville.
Coach Pat Kelsey, after Thursday's win over USF 83-79 that moved the Cardinals into the second round of the NCAA East region. When we come back, assistant